check out the Say I Quit podcast on YouTube. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
What's the word, y'all? What's the word? You know what it is. It's the best wrestling podcast in the world.
In the world.
Boy, Lil Derek here. I got Les Hardy Jr. with me. I got Reed Starks with me. And we got a very, very special guest from here in St. Louis, just like myself. A multiple disciplinary artist, man. I could say so much about this person. Amazingly talented singer, amazingly talented host. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I ain't go boost him up too much because I can go on all day about this amazingly talented person. But I'm gonna introduce y'all to them. Maven Lee, welcome to the Say I Quit podcast.
What's up?
What up, Maven?
So,
Come on.
Enough, as I introduce Maven, I'm gonna also tell y'all about how me and Maven even connected, and that was through music, just like all of us. Honestly, you know, Maven was hosting a open mic at Sophie's Artist Lounge, one of the hottest artist hubs that you can go to in St. Louis if you want to run with it's like-minded individuals that are also creatives. So you know, I performed there, and since then we connected through Instagram and everything. He saw that we had a podcast, a wrestling podcast. He like, damn, you know, they're like, damn, I'm a wrestling fan as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to come on a podcast one day. So this has been long overdue, actually. So it's great to finally have Maven on this podcast. You know, so one of the things that we always ask people to introduce them to our fans, but also for us to get to know them and their wrestling taste a little better is their Mount Rushmore in professional wrestling. Now,
we
you
starting
don't gotta
off
say your
swinging
greatest
already.
You don't gotta say your greatest, but I would say let's talk about your favorite four that you would have to put on there. If you need an honorable mention, you can do an honorable mention as well. But who is the four faces for you of professional wrestling when you think about it from any day and age?
Sting.
Oh, Todd, let's go. Already starting crazy. Let's go.
Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with the Rock.
I'm gonna say one. This is me cheating. Because I'm gonna say one, but I'm gonna replace the one I'm gonna say because we're not supposed to say his name.
I know. Yeah.
You might not. I'm not gonna say Hogan.
Oh.
Say Hogan. No. He's definitely not in my.
Thank God.
Benoit. Chris Benoit.
Okay.
But I'm gonna replace him with somebody who would not have been in my Rushmore years ago, but I'm putting him in there now. Angle, Kurt Angle.
Okay.
Sting, Rock, Angle. Dang, I'm gonna say Taker for me.
Okay.
That's
I like that. That's a solid ass floor list. Like, really
my honorable mention is gonna be a woman that I did not like for years, but I gotta give her props, and that's Trish Stratus.
Okay. Damn, you weren't a Trish fan?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It seems like everybody as a kid was a Trish fan. Like me personally,
I was a China fan because Trish couldn't wrestle. She was like all of a sudden we woke up and it was like Trish Stratus the wrestler. Like, where did that come from? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did that happen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I didn't really, I was a China leader, jazz,
the ones that came in being able to really scrap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
She was really a manager at first, then I don't know what she was the face of the women's division. I don't know what.
Yeah, and we gotta be honest. The way Trish looked got her. You know what I'm saying? Right up in there. So I just give credit to the women who was in there from the beginning, scrapping.
Yo.
But definitely, it's nice for you to as years go by, you can be like even though I didn't like her as a wrestler, really, you can still acknowledge just how important she was to women's
Yeah.
wrestling in general. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, as she got better and better, she's kind of like Kelly Kelly to me. You know what I'm saying? Like same
Yeah.
thing. They brought her in
Yeah.
for how she looked, and then
Yeah.
eventually she got better and better, and kind of
Ah,
had a legit in ring repertoire to actually put on a good match. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna be real. I wasn't tripping off how good of a wrestler Trish Stratus was when I
Me
was a
neither.
kid.
Me
I was
neither.
just
correct.
looking at her. I was just looking at her like I love her.
Yeah.
I love her. That's all I know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Uh-huh.
That's all I know.
Well, see,
But
I looked at wrestling for different reasons.
right,
So maybe that explains it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And that is definitely a solid list though. Like you said, like
That's
I
a good
couldn't
list.
argue with any of those four. Obviously, Taker's the face of WWE for 30 years running. Uh,
Yeah.
Sting was the
Sting
face of
is somebody.
WCW.
Yes, literally, I was
Sting.
gonna say
Yeah.
the face of WCW and a guy that just has been he was amazing for like 40 years. Like he had a legit 40-year career where he was
Yo,
still putting on bangers. What 20 years in WCW basically.
Yeah.
Then you got those years in TNA. He was still such an amazing wrestler. And even AEW, he was still while he was limited,
AEW,
he
he was
still put his body on
yeah.
the line
yo.
and did everything he could to entertain us as best as he could. And that's coming back fine. You see, I skipped over his WWE run because that's just
It's
is what it is. We don't even want to talk about that when it comes to him. But
Yeah.
I
and of
like
course,
the thing I liked about Maven's list a lot was like you included Sting and Undertaker. I feel like when people become like very
They got to choose.
tribalistic, they're like, oh, we got to choose a side, but you put both of them, gave them their due diligence.
Yeah,
I fuck with that. Yo,
yeah. Because they were the pillars of both their companies.
yeah,
mhm,
You know, and Sting was first because let's be real, like there's not too many stars in professional wrestling that were not in the WWF or WWE that were as big as Sting. Sting
yeah,
was really the
facts.
only holdout that was so huge without being a WWF WWE wrestler. You know what I
right,
mean? And so I think that puts him into a whole other class than anybody else because he never wavered and he
Yeah.
stayed like, you know what I'm saying, top notch thing no matter where he was. It was like sing, that nostalgia, you know. And it's
mhm.
like even in his little WWE whatever, crap that was, you know what I mean? People were so mad, you know what I'm saying? Because not too many people, you want to come into WWE and beat their top WWE guys. But to be honest, people wouldn't have, we wouldn't have mind if Sting would have beat, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's why he was so big. You know what I'm saying? So had to go with him first.
yo,
Yep.
I
Yep.
respect
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I'd say even like with him
Yeah.
fighting Seth Rollins, obviously we want him to beat Triple H because we want to get to the
Yeah.
eventual Undertaker match. That was the match that
Yeah.
everybody wanted to see. Triple H just had to insert himself in it. But when he fought Seth Rollins in his last match in WWE that he lost, I think everybody wanted Sting to win the WWE Championship. Like
Yeah.
Yep.
that's one of the
By
Something.
things that
far,
if Sting comes there, we want to see him win the World Championship, the WWE Championship. Uh, so I that
Yeah.
you explained it perfectly. Like he is the one
Yeah.
guy
I
out
was
of
so
in North
shocked, man.
American
So
wrestling.
shocked that the team, the writing for that. I definitely think they
Uh,
fumbled.
I mean, I'm not shocked. I mean, look who's
Really?
running the company. Yeah, I'm not shocked. Anytime a WCW personnel came into WWE, they didn't either, unless you were like Diamond Dallas Page at that point or Goldberg, you weren't
Yeah.
getting you weren't getting
Even
booked.
Yeah, because
DDP
Booker
got terrible
T,
booking. DDP
Yeah,
got buried by the Undertaker.
Booker
yeah, yeah.
T. I don't.
They put him
Booker
in a
That
T
coffin.
that
was a
shit
Booker T.
He's
They
different.
that
He's
shit
different
breaks my
though.
heart. That shit break
He's
my heart.
not winning against. He should have beat Triple H. That's not even a question. But he got the better end of the deal than the rest of the guys,
But
besides
I think
who?
Goldberg.
they humbled him first though. They humbled him first,
Booker
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
T,
yeah,
Booker
everybody
T,
else.
but he
yeah.
They
stuck
humbled
around.
him. They
But
humbled
they
him,
made, I
and it
feel,
made him kind of what he is now. Where a lot of people look at him as just
a
like the
joke.
WWE Shield. They look at him like we don't take you seriously. We don't necessarily respect your opinion a lot of the times because you or he's one of the ones that like caved in, just went into the complete, he politicked for himself. He played the good role of
Yeah.
being like, look, I'm not gonna make no problems for nobody. I'm gonna just do the best I can. And now he's one of those guys that, like I said before, the main thing that pissed me off of what he was saying essentially about people like Carmelo Hayes is maybe they're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? He didn't say Carmelo Hayes by name, but the people that
Yeah.
we're complaining about as black wrestlers that aren't getting a push, one of them being my boy Carmelo Hayes,
Yo.
maybe they just not good enough. Well,
Yeah.
obviously they didn't feel like you were good enough to beat Triple H. So
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't have anything to say about that when everybody else, all of the fans believe that you did have enough to beat
Yeah.
Triple H. You know what I'm saying? That you were a guy, especially the way that the storyline played out. Booker T was
Yeah.
supposed to walk away with that win, but you're a guy that, and I understand the not wanting to politic. I was just talking about this yesterday. You know what I'm saying? With a wrestler that I know personally, I ain't gonna say their name just so don't nobody see it, but they don't want to politic. They don't want to politic, and I can understand not wanting to politic
No.
in a negative aspect and like bring people down while you politic. That's not how you're supposed to do it. But if
It's
it's a
also
chance and opportunity for you to big up yourself and say, hey, no, I think I should win this because of X, Y, and Z, not to crap on anybody else, but advocate for yourself because
Yeah.
in a world like professional wrestling, if you don't, Booker T is the type of guy that never advocated for himself, so now he doesn't advocate for the young black wrestlers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Which sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because he's
Yeah.
one of the guys that they look up to. He's one of the first black world champions that at least our generation saw, because our generation didn't really see when Ron Simmons won the world championship. You know what I'm
shit. We
saying?
was
So
watching. I was watching. I remember like growing up and seeing Shelton Benjamin, and I'm like, bro, like that.
why
That's
isn't he a
my guy
world
right there.
champion? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what's
Yeah.
crazy? You know what's crazy? Well, two things. One, going to that Booker T thing. I think that Booker T
My bad.
fumbled himself when it comes to the conversations of the greats, because yes, we know Booker T is, we know his accomplishments, we know he's good, but like I think the way that he handled, like you said, the way he handled himself in his career, he made the money, don't get me wrong. He made the WWE money, he politicked, he did what he needed to do. But when we talk about the greatest wrestlers of all time, all those types of things, to me, I leave him out of the conversation now. As much as I, loved Booker T and loved what he contributed, loved what, his record with Harlem Heat, with WCW, his actions and kind of the way that he's positioned and presented himself in the business made me lose a lot of respect for him. You know what I mean? So his name kind of goes out the window when I'm
Right.
talking about, the wrestlers. But the interesting thing when I was hearing you talk was that we do not think of The Rock in any kind of way a lot of times when we're talking about
Yeah,
Black World
just
Champions.
being honest. You know what I'm saying?
And I hate that. I hate that because I do feel like The Rock represented blackness in ways when he was, a world champion with his charisma and his actions. But I think it's just really interesting the way, his history shows up in wrestling. That it's kind of like just skip right over The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, but that's
Yeah,
just what
Yeah.
happens. I hear it all the time. When we're talking. So that just kind of like was
I
interesting when you said it.
I think it
and
was.
go ahead, Les. My
I,
bad.
I think it also came down to WWE seeing like his Samoan heritage being more marketable to a mass fan
I
base
mean, look
rather than
now, bro.
considering him.
Yeah.
Just look at
Yeah,
But not at
yeah, look at
first
now.
because when he was
but
with
not
the
at
nation.
when he was with the nation. Yup.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely an interesting point, like how
It
we
is.
don't consider The Rock like usually in the conversation of black wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
We
He's
name a
somebody
lot
that
of
gets
other
skate
people.
over a lot of the time,
Hmm.
and it's even more weird considering that like he has his black dad is also a professional wrestler, was a professional wrestler, but we always do look at that Samoan side, and of course nowadays that is for sure the one that they deem more marketable. Uh, and honestly, if he had a black dad, is he necessarily in the WWF at that time and getting pushed? Is it like you said? I do think at a certain standpoint they started to realize, especially like once he got the Samoan tattoo and everything on his chest, that they were like, okay, we're gonna
He's
acknowledge that
Samoan.
he's black, but we're
Hmm.
gonna push more of that Samoan heritage and
Yeah.
just knowing that on that side of the fence, to a certain standpoint, on that side of the fence, he is a third, fourth, fifth generation wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got
Yeah.
way more family from that we can be like, oh, he's this person cousin, he's this person cousin, he's related to this person. So yeah, like you said, it's really interesting. I had thought about The Rock. It's crazy that you brought it up because after I got done talking, I was like, damn, I didn't say The Rock. Because
That's
obviously
what
we
happened.
kind of looked at Booker T and The Rock. In my opinion, I looked at both of them when I was a kid. I did, but as we've gotten older, The Rock has kind of dwindled out of those black wrestler conversations. Even though he still does represent us, but like we said, it seems like that Samoan side of his heritage.
But here's the thing, though.
I see
The
what you guys are
Rock
saying.
also has politics.
Mm.
The Rock also has politics, but his politic, the way he politics was very different than Booker T's, and I think this, and honestly, in some of the same ways and reasons that Booker T has kind of faded out of the conversation, The Rock has too. But The Rock has just been a lot more savvy with the way that he's kind of like segue himself out, you know. But just briefly touching on, you know, the Samoan situation, you know, sometimes I feel like, especially in the earlier days, not everybody really understood the difference between who was black and who was Samoan.
Yeah.
You know, because like,
Facts.
you know, Rikishi for the longest, you know what I'm saying? I know most people was like,
You couldn't tell
Rikishi
me that wasn't
Samoan.
a black man.
You know what
I
I'm
thought
saying?
Rikishi
Like,
was black. I thought Rikishi was black.
I did too, but people are doing that with Jacob Fatu now. When you can easily just do a history search and be like, yeah, he's just Samoan.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it also comes down to just like the mesh of both cultures in a way, because like Fatu, I think he from the Bay Area. Like he grew up in the hood in the Bay Area. Like he grew up around black people, so like the mesh of the cultures kind of like, you know. But it's
same
definitely
for the Usos. Same for the Usos.
Usos too.
They definitely
all of them. Really, you know
Every
what I'm
single one of
saying?
them.
You know,
we would look at them and be like, that's a black man. That's the first thing you would think of when you see them, unless they got to telling you about their I'm Samoan, this is my heritage, yada yada yada. Like we would automatically look at if it was a Samoan man walking down the street, I probably would be like, are they black? Are they Samoan? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not gonna be like, is they Samoan? I'm not gonna be
like,
I'm crying.
It's definitely a interesting thing, like you said, that like for a minute we would all of those wrestlers we would be thinking, especially as kids, it's like they black. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't really know the difference at that point in time. So but like I said, and then to Kurt Angle, since we talked about The Rock, let's talk about Kurt Angle being on your Mount Rushmore. You said that at first you didn't have Kurt Angle on your Mount Rushmore. What has changed your mind in this day and age, in your later age, to be like, okay, this is one of the greatest wrestlers that I had the privilege of watching when I was a kid?
So I'm gonna be real and say that if I didn't take the other person off, Kurt probably wouldn't be on there. But since I took them off and replaced them, one, I replaced them with the other person because, you know, I think about technical wrestling, you know what I mean? And I think a lot of times we kind of weigh the pros and cons of how good of a wrestler is, you know, when we're saying who's the greatest on like wrestling ability, in ring, you know, ability, and like, you know, mic skills. And then, you know, we try to merge them all together and see who, you know, but typically people go up and down, you know, and I wanted to make sure that I included a technical wrestler, a mat wrestler, a skilled wrestler in my list. And Kurt definitely, you know, came in with the skills and converted well from amateur wrestling to pro wrestling and only got better with time. And when I think about the matches, I also kind of like measure Kurt based off of the matches that he's had with other people. Because when you're making other people look good, when you're making yourself look good, when you bringing other people's level up, like that's pumping in my mind like this dude is good. You know, his WWE career, you know, we all know how that happened, kind of halted. But when he got to TNA, like the matches in TNA were just insane. You know what I mean? And so his TNA career, to be perfectly honest, like is a bigger part of why I'm like, this is one of the greatest of all time. Because like he really carried that company in a lot of ways, especially, you know, when some of the other wrestlers left. And his matches in TNA were just off the chain. His matches in WWE were off the chain too. Yeah, so I would just say Angle for that reason. You know what I mean? And here's the thing: let's not sleep on his mic skills because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Angle's promos were some of the best promos from his era. So that's why I'm saying Angle.
Yeah, he was killing it in every facet. That's the
He had
interesting thing
everything.
with him being somebody that like came from Olympic wrestling and was literally able to just knock everything they gave him. He knocked it out of the park. You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of the most entertaining promo character guys. Like when he
Yeah.
was playing,
He was
he was playing the goofy character with the milk and everything like that. He
Yeah.
was hilarious. When he went to being more serious with Team Angle and stuff, he was hilarious. Like just so entertaining. Such a great, he always just had something that made him stick out. On top of being one of the best, if not the best, in ring wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
And it's ironic that you said that exactly how you phrase it and why you put him on there and who he replaced, because that's someone who was my favorite wrestler at the time of what happened, and someone that if I could, I would put on my Mount Rushmore for
Man.
me, because I think that in ring, if I was to separate the inside and outside things, in ring, I think that is the best wrestler that I've ever seen. But
Mm.
second to that person
Mm.
in ring wise would probably be Kurt Angle, if I'm being honest. You know
Sure.
what I'm saying? So I I love every single reason that you said, especially having to have a technical wrestler in that picture with them. Because you look at The Rock, The Rock may be the greatest talker of all time. Some people would say John Cena, some people say Ric Flair, but The Rock is in that conversation, no doubt. He's probably one A
Man,
or one B,
Ric
if we
Flair.
being honest.
Wait,
I'm saying
Ric.
older people, man. Older people will say Ric
Man.
Flair. I'm telling you, they gonna say
Yeah,
Jake. They gonna
I
act like
know.
they gonna say Jake the Snake Roberts. You know what I'm saying? You might not even think
Yeah.
that shit, but I'm
Dusty,
telling you,
I
that's
think
what older
Dusty,
people gonna say.
Dusty better than both of them.
Oh
Dusty should
yeah,
be in that
by
conversation for
far.
sure. But The Rock, one of the greatest talkers of all time. Then
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
Sting and Taker, two guys that have two of the coolest gimmicks, but also in ring on the mic, just everything, their presentation and their longevity. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So you really cover every facet, and then having a
Yeah.
woman at the honorable mention being Trish Stratus. I love that list personally. So I
Yeah.
got
That was
another
a good
good one
list.
for you, and you can go with our honorable mention on this one too, because I feel like this is always a hard one. I know ours. I feel like our favorite matches of all time fluctuate. Honestly, I got
Yeah.
like a list of ones that
My.
I could say,
Yeah.
but matter of fact, if you want to give us maybe three of your favorite wrestling matches of all time, any company, any era.
Oh man. This is hard because there's two wrestlers in particular who have had like a couple matches that I'm like, woo.
Well, we can
Yes.
already we can already cross out Hulk Hogan.
Oh
So
yeah.
that
Ain't no Hogan match making my list.
Hell no, never that.
never, never.
But Daniel Bryan has had a
Ooh,
couple matches that I've been like, ah,
okay,
crazy.
okay.
Um, Dang man, like this is hard.
Pick
I will
three.
say
Pick
one
three.
match, and this is probably gonna shock y'all. But one match that just the feels that I had when watching this match. And damn, I can't remember what year it was. What year was that? The last WrestleMania match between Rock and Austin.
Okay, is that
19.
2000.
19? Yeah, I think that's
19.
19.
Um,
Yeah, where he puts on the vest, where Rock puts on.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that moment that it was just all the feels, like
You got
all the feels of
you got
like,
that. You got that over 17.
yeah. So for me, I feel like I was such a Rock fan, so I'm a
And
little
Rock finally got
biased.
that win. Rock
Yeah,
finally got that
I'm a little
win. You know what I'm
biased because it
saying?
was
yeah,
just like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah. I
that's
agree.
a biased pick,
It was
but
still a good match. I love that match.
greatest, oh man. That's hard, man. I want to say it's this match between Benoit and Jericho. Y'all probably, I don't know if y'all remember this, but it was a match between Benoit and Jericho. It was in ECW. Um,
Mm.
Oh, that's going back.
years ago. And Jericho, I think, had on it was Lionheart Jericho.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Cheetah or whatever that was, Lion Cheetah. It was Lion. I'm talking about Lionheart Cheetah. What am I doing? It was his lion, like like ring gear, and that match was like it was just so dope to me. So it probably was Jericho and Benoit and ECW. I know most people probably won't know about that match, but that's like my favorite in-ring match that I love. But as far as like popular ones, it would be Rock and Austin 19.
Yeah,
I like that. I like
yeah,
those two. I love going back to that era because one of my always favorite matches of all time is Halloween Havoc '97, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey
yup.
Mysterio.
Oh, Eddie Guerrero.
Wait, who?
Eddie Guerrero.
A
Eddie and Ray.
match that
My
Eddie
goat.
Guerrero.
if you're
That's
a
my
young
goat.
kid, if you're a young kid and you have never seen those two matches in particular,
Oh,
there's so many
man.
matches within WCW's cruiserweight division and ECW when Paul Heyman was bringing in so many guys from Mexico and Japan, and then literally giving them the platform
Jerry
that kind of
Lynn
led
and
those
RVD.
guys.
Maven
You said-
spitting Jerry Lynn.
Jerry
Whoa.
Lynn, come
Jerry
Oh,
on.
Lynn and
he knows
RVD.
ball.
Oh my
Maven,
God.
Maven knows ball. Hold on.
Yes. So they
Jerry Lynn's tough.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so many matches from that era that have just like set the tone for what we see in today's day and age. Like without those matches, there is no Kenny Omegas, there is no
Yeah.
AJ Styles, there is no, you know what I'm saying, Vikingo. All of these guys that do these crazy athletic things. Will Ospreay is one of my favorite in-ring guys right now.
Yup.
They aren't who they are. They aren't who they are without the Eddie Guerreros in his prime, the Y2Js, because I think he losing it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I don't know, bro, because that match against Bandito,
I don't give a
that
fuck.
wasn't
he
bad.
lost the title. That was like he finally had a good match.
And it was his last
match.
like the
But
learning
you
tree.
know what though? Cause I'm gonna be honest, Jericho almost was on my list. He was almost on my list. I had to kind of reframe my thought process a little bit with Jericho and his matches. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's in another pocket right now. Like it's not the same. Like we know that Jericho is gonna go between. He has all of these different variations of Jericho, and like that last Ring of Honor. Jericho. With the match, like I'm just like, man, this is just that Jericho now. He just that old Jericho that ain't really moving like he used to. That's the bag he in. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I learned to appreciate it in a different way and not like try to, because I'm judging him based off of all of the previous versions of Jericho, expecting Jericho to be, and not thinking like all the other old wrestlers that came or mediocre trash to this Jericho that we seeing now. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to give him his props for being around so long and still being high quality when all of the people of his era really, let's be honest, can't really work a match the way Jericho can work a match.
I would say besides Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think all the other people in their eras, really, a lot of them have retired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them.
Like Dean Malenko can't even really walk.
No.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to be rude, but like,
Yeah.
That just can't do it anymore. Or if
that was
they
crazy.
Show.
That was crazy.
That's like Big Show. Why did they bring Big Show? Okay, that's another conversation.
Yo, Big Show was walking to the ring
White.
like
I'm like, what is this?
he walked like it hurts.
I love those matches though, and I love that you reach back to like you have nothing, especially like reaching back that far to the early mid '90s. Because obviously a lot of people, a match they'll say back then too is like Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. That's no doubt up there, one of the greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
As you get further, for me personally, I can never not give props to Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? Watching that live at WrestleMania 21, like that match is perfect to me. It's a perfect match. Don't understand why it wasn't a 5-star match for.
Hey, we ain't worried about.
It's a 5-shot match for me.
Yeah,
5-star match for me. I got my own rating system.
Yeah.
But so many matches that come to mind. Obviously, one of my personal favorites of all time is Sasha Banks versus Bailey at
Yeah,
Takeover Brooklyn. That's one of my favorites of
absolutely,
all time.
absolutely.
And
That's
then, recently Mercedes got a couple recent ones that I'm like, damn, this match might be my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Her and Chris Statlander was cooking. Her and Stephanie McCurry round 2 at Forbidden Door. I love that match.
Yeah.
But then I ain't gonna get on
hey,
the
bro.
Mercedes Banks change it. Mercedes Banks, Mercedes Monet, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna blend the two names together because that's my
Hey,
personal favorite wrestler
hey,
since like 2016 probably at the latest.
hey,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? She has been consistently my, that's I can go on a tangent about that.
I'm
But I do want to
surprised.
talk about that. I do want to talk about that. Yeah. I
There's
do want to
never.
talk about Mercedes Monet. They know I'm the biggest
Yeah,
Mercedes
yeah,
Monet
yeah.
fan.
He's
You probably
he's
know. I'm not gonna lie. That's my girl.
he is
I
he
I
is.
I will fight. I fight people on TikTok about that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay, well,
I've been
get ready
turned.
to
I've
rumble
been turned to
because
sand. I've been turned to
Oh!
sand. Say less. Say less. I'll be ready. But
Hey,
she gotta
before
get into the night of champions.
hold on, before y'all get into it, I will say there's one wrestler I wasn't sure about whenever I first started watching them, and now I can confidently say that they're one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And this is gonna sound crazy, but Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's
He's
solid though.
yeah, but I didn't know about him for sure,
I feel you.
Yeah,
but
me and
now
Hangman Adam Page.
I love Hangman. Stop. We're not doing that today. We be you guys be bashing him all the time. Listen, I love Hangman.
all
It's just
time,
it is what it is. Not all
Kenny
time.
Omega, all time.
He's got him and Will Ospreay's match at Forbidden Door. I absolutely
Oh,
love
greatest
that.
match of all time, not
No,
wrestling.
no, no. He's definitely one of the best wrestlers ever. Just not like
Really?
In
yes,
ring, I
yes,
would agree. In ring, I
yes,
would agree.
yes. In ring is
Maybe.
kind of. Hey, I'm not talking
In
about.
ring, I give
He's
Kenny Omega in the conversation.
yeah. He's cool.
Especially
Like
for this era. Especially for this era.
yes,
It's so hard to
I'm
compare eras too. Always.
I should have said favorite.
Right.
I'm not trying, but he definitely in ring. He's up there. Like he has to be for me. He technically he might have the
He's great.
greatest.
He's.
He might have the greatest wrestling
I'm
match
not
of all
impressed.
time. He might have
I'm
the
just
greatest
gonna say
wrestling
it.
match of all time. I'm
He
sorry.
might have the best catalog of matches of all time. Honestly.
Yes.
Like Omega got at least 5-star matches for me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like he got maybe more. Honestly,
2018 Dominion might be the best match I've ever watched, and I'm
Him and
not even
Okada?
joking. Yes, I'm not even joking.
We got that.
And so, do y'all feel like it's Omega?
Cassidy.
Do y'all feel like it's Omega make it like? Do you feel like it's Omega that is like the dominant part of those matches that makes them great, or do you think it's the combination of Omega and the other wrestlers that make them
50.
great?
It's 50-50 for
I
sure,
think it's
especially with Okada.
yeah. For me,
Okay,
I think
cool.
it's
That
I
makes
think
more
also,
sense to
I think
me.
you can't negate how great he is
yeah.
just off the
No, no,
fact
no, no, no. Because
that I'm saying like how many partners. It's not like it's just with Okada or it's just with like a couple wrestlers. Like he's
Yeah.
got Pac, he's got Orange
Yeah.
Cassidy,
Oh, Pac.
he's got his
Pac
tag
is
matches with
so bro.
Hangman, you know what I'm saying? He got it's so many
Pac.
wrestlers that he has like these 5-star quality. Obviously,
Yeah.
Will
Yes.
Ospreay. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
just
I definitely
asking. I'm just asking. You know, because I mean, Angle is the same way. I feel like Angle
Yes.
is just another person who does it. You know, the only difference for me is if we're talking about in-ring ability, I can understand him being in those conversations more. But if we're talking about all-around wrestlers, he's just nowhere near them.
Is it? Is it?
For me,
Let's
I
be
agree.
honest. Let's be honest though. Is it because he hasn't been in WWE yet?
no, it's because he's bland. He's boring.
Ooh, I don't know about. I don't know about
He's
that.
not the best
wrestling
No,
wrestler at
ability.
all.
but he
Hey,
can't.
move
I
on.
don't. Nah. I agree with Maven though. Like
He's
his
bland?
boring. You know what I'm
his
saying?
promo work.
It's terrible. And here's the thing: there's
And y'all get.
also a difference between him and other wrestlers because not saying that WWE won't take him, but he's not the same as Sting or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't go to WWE. Like they're gonna have to put in the work to make him like interesting to WWE fans because as good as a wrestler as he is in WWE, he's going to have something else
I
to
think.
bring
I
to
think he will. I think he would, especially with Punk over there, bro. You can just make that storyline right there. Like that. That's selling. That's selling tickets, bro.
Also, here's the thing.
I think you got to have a mouthpiece.
How interesting. Yeah.
Look at Ricochet.
He's not bad. He's not bad on the mic. I don't know what we're getting at. He's really not bad.
Reed, look at Ricochet.
Ricochet doesn't need a mouthpiece. He's doing better.
Okay, but look at how his mic work was in WWE and it never translated. He was incredible in the ring, but nothing is making fans be like, damn, I'm investing my time in this wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm a big
Kenny Omega has is a bigger name. But like say replace Kenny Omega with Ricochet, right? At the same time point. And you sent Kenny Omega to WWE at the same time that Ricochet came into WWE, right? Do you think Kenny Omega has that much of a more successful career than Ricochet?
Bro, I'm almost confident he would. I'm dead serious. I think Kenny Omega, I think people would be surprised because people said the same thing about Cody. Look what happened.
I never
Cody
heard that
already
about
was
Cody.
through the WWE system, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
He knows how that system works, so that's a bad example.
But he wasn't a main eventer. And then he did.
But we can't compare Cody. Cody is a Rhodes. So no matter what you know what I'm saying? Like first with him being a Rhodes, I'm just saying there's just dynamics about Cody that just makes those non-comparable.
Yeah, but if he was a Rhodes, he would have been a main eventer before he left, and they paid him Stardust.
The potential. They just didn't put him there. That's the difference.
Yeah,
can we ever say that Cody was bland or boring? Like during the Stardust, I wouldn't call Stardust bland or boring.
I just think he had a poor character.
You know what I'm saying? Stardust was just a poorly booked character at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like he always took whatever they gave him and made it interesting.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega, I love Kenny Omega. Like in ring, he is one of my favorites of all time. Probably in my top 10 in ring all time. Yeah. But character wise, I've never been like his character
is dead,
like,
man. We got to come on.
Okay, this makes me cringe a little.
I don't even know who he is.
This makes me cringe a little with Les and Derek because y'all get on me about Hangman, but he is the only one on that roster other than like a few people that is like the package of it, like his character, his promos, his matches is all there. And then y'all get mad at me saying he's one of the best. What are we doing? And then y'all saying this about Kenny.
I ain't taking Hangman over Swerve or Ospreay. That's all I know.
Not at all.
I ain't taking him over
Swerve
y'all like Hangman?
I love Hangman. That's one of my favorite wrestlers. He might be my favorite wrestler right now.
Les is a Hangman hater.
Yes.
Look, we had a whole argument. This nigga Reed wanna say motherfucking Hangman is the best promo in motherfucking AEW.
I said no. I said no.
I remember
that. 2 years ago. 2 years ago is crazy because it wasn't him. I said Samoa Joe. That's where you got it wrong. And now I said this last 6 months ago at least. That one was Samoa Joe because y'all were getting mad at me saying top 10 promo of all time. I was like, Samoa Joe could. He could. Yeah, I'm trying to keep receipts.
You did that tier list. We did the tier
list. Yeah. Because everybody. Yeah,
I like Hangman.
He's my favorite wrestler right now, so obviously I'm gonna bat for him. But at the same time, I see what they're saying. Like he does kind of fall into the cowboy shtick of like being a depressed cowboy most times. Saying
at least he got a character though.
No, he got it.
Yeah. But I think
Kenny Omega's character is I'm the best bout machine. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I'm an amazing wrestler. That's his character. Like, I don't even think he's done that great of a job in this whole storyline with like Matt and Nick Jackson and like losing your best friends and now the Okada situation. Like I think that he could have.
He has no personality.
This is a situation where we should be getting emotional for him and them in this situation, and it really hasn't.
Wait, we talking about Kenny or Hangman? Because they just.
I'm talking about Kenny.
Oh, I was about to say.
He already did his spiel with the Young Bucks and Okada, kinda. You know what I'm saying? And now they're kind of going back to that well a little bit. With now him and Okada about to unify those titles. But like
that match is gonna hit.
Something that he did with his best friends didn't even convey much emotion for me. You know what I'm saying? That kind of
I
showed me that
I
he
will
just,
I
on
will
that
say,
aspect of things, he isn't the greatest. But I think in ring for sure, he doesn't have a flaw.
man,
Honestly,
Yeah.
I would say I will agree with you on Hangman really didn't click for me. Like I was always a Hangman fan. Like I even watched him in Ring of Honor when he was fighting Kota Ibushi. I
Yeah.
love that match.
okay.
He didn't really click for me until Swerve, and that's why I respect Swerve so much and why Swerve is one of my favorites.
But see that story made me fuck with Swerve a lot more than I
It
fuck with
did. No,
Hangman.
it did. I was like, after the first match, I was like, oh yeah, Swerve's the world champ. Like, just give him the belt. And it took him a little bit because then they had their death match, and that's one of my favorite matches of all time. I love
Yeah,
that.
that was a
match.
good match.
It was
That was a
crazy,
fire
but
match.
yeah, at least top 15.
It's not
But-
that I hate Hangman. It's just
Yeah,
that
no,
I
you
don't
hate
believe
him. Stop the
I don't
cap.
believe
You,
him.
you
I don't-
hate him. It's
I don't
okay.
believe
Just
him.
say.
I don't believe in him. I
You
don't
really
believe in him.
don't? Man, I don't know.
I think he a good wrestler. I just don't believe in him.
I don't know. Maybe I went off on a tangent there. My bad, y'all.
Okay.
You good? You good? That's
I had-
what
I had-
it's about, man.
This is what happens on the Say I
Is
Quit
it not
podcast.
clocking to? Is it not clocking
It's
to
not-
you that I'm standing on
Standing
business?
Yeah, I know Hangman, your boy. I'm not. Yeah, even with those two in ring, I would take Omega. On the mic, character wise, I would take Hangman first.
Yeah, I don't
That's just
disagree. I don't
That's just
disagree.
me, for sure. But
Yeah.
let's talk about Night of Champions. Just our
Let's go.
general thoughts. We don't gotta go match by match. Obviously, the two highlights, three highlights, I would say, of the night are Cody Rhodes becoming king of the ring, Jade becoming queen of the ring, and John Cena versus CM Punk for the last time ever.
I hate
Obviously,
that.
we got some theatrics in that match. It sucks to know it's the last time too, with
I
something
hate
like that. It's just they have such amazing chemistry. I think CM Punk has always brought the best out of John Cena. As a John Cena hater, I'm the resident John Cena hater over here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as somebody that was the resident John Cena hater,
Yeah, let's talk about Hangman. John Cena, his favorite wrestler. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. Jeff Hardy, my favorite wrestler. Actually.
He is.
Oh wait, John Cena's your favorite wrestler?
No,
No.
it's Jeff Hardy.
is.
It's
Some
Jeff
people
Hardy.
say
It's
that
Jeff
John
Hardy.
Cena is the GOAT type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay.
that's neither here nor there.
Perfect. He's one of my least favorite.
Me too. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Can't stand John
think
Cena.
that,
I ain't gonna lie. When I was little, he was the coldest white dude out. That's all I'm gonna say. I had to, bro.
That's false. That's false.
No. He was not
That's
Eminem.
false.
Not Eminem. It was John
That's
Cena.
false.
Dude,
That's
Eminem.
Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy.
Okay,
always
Jeff.
been the coldest white boy of all time.
No,
What are you
it's
talking about?
John Cena, Jeff Hardy, and then Eminem.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Reed, as a white
Now we
person,
gotta
you
get
can't
this.
even, bro. You can't. You
Hey,
should
my
have an opinion.
take is
Well,
valid
well,
then.
first-
My
well,
take is
first-
valid then. My take is valid
First of
then.
all, guys, John Cena and Jeff Hardy weren't actually, they were like kind of like this in their eras because John Cena didn't go into John Cena until like Jeff was already Jeffing with the Hardy.
Hey, Robert
You
in the
know what I'm saying?
chat. Robert
So
in the
like
chat.
he was already, and I like
Right.
Jeff. Jeff is one of my favorites.
John
And
Cena.
then
Jeff-
John
Right,
Cena.
right.
Jeff is cool. Jeff is amazing. I love Jeff. Jeff, he has some swag, but John, you cannot tell 8-year-old me at that time wearing the headband that he uses on his arm and the dog tags that he wasn't the coldest.
Hell
I'm sorry,
Hell
bro.
no.
Corny, bro.
Hell
You
nah,
corny.
Reed.
I don't care, bro.
Hell no,
I don't
nah.
care, bro.
Nah,
Hey.
we not,
You
this
would've took-
revisionist shit, I don't like it. This revisionist shit, I do not like it.
No, 2000. No, 2000, 2008.
Jeff Hardy was just as popular as Obama in 08, man.
That's
Stop
what
playing
I'm
with
saying.
Jeff Hardy. Stop
One
playing
year,
with Jeff Hardy.
1 year though.
Who's
John was
just
like that.
popular?
John was like this from 03 or 04
Jeff Hardy
and
was
up
as
until
popular
then.
as Obama, bro.
Jeff Hardy, the greatest white boy of all time. He
No,
John Cena
it's,
don't
no,
even
I am.
know.
I am. What are we talking? I am. I'm joking.
I'm gonna have to agree though because I think that Jeff, to me, John Cena is corny. I feel like it was trying. I feel like his gimmick has.
I was
always
young.
been
I
corny.
was young though. Like Jeff,
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Jeff was
But I
cool.
feel like his gimmick has always been like forced down our throats. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
You know,
you.
for John
Thank
Cena, you know what I'm
you.
saying? And to
Yeah.
be real, you know, without making it a racial thing, it was like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
how did this character become so successful on this white boy? You know what I mean? But the way
Yeah.
he characterized that character on everybody that is a black wrestler has been something of a mockery or a joke. And it was so successful for
I
this
will. I
random
will.
white boy who was the prototype.
Uh-huh.
Like, how do you go from the prototype to
Because
fucking John Cena?
he
You know
freestyled
what I'm
on
saying?
a bus one day, and that's what happened.
So let's be
But
honest.
like,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
kind of like Doctor Thugonomics, but once he got to like, still like, once he got basically slowly becoming Super Cena and leaving out
Yeah.
back,
I say like, oh wait.
he really got corny
Yeah.
for me at that point.
Yeah.
I say, oh wait.
No,
But
I think
05,
Jeff was more. I feel like Jeff.
authentic.
Yeah, I feel like Jeff is just who he is. Like
A
you see
cool
Jeff.
ass white boy.
That's what I'm
Like,
talking about.
Okay,
with the
okay.
Come on,
You guys
Exactly.
can. You guys convince.
to make fun of people that wore jorts, them big ass jorts he had on. Come on, now.
Exactly.
John Cena was
Bro,
Jeff
listen,
Hardy
He wore
listen.
George with a
Jeff
pair of
Hardy had
Asics, bro.
swag
It was the
and
corniest
everything,
shit I ever seen in my life.
Bro,
Don't
all
disrespect.
right, we ain't gonna talk about corny from the New York dude. The Knicks suck.
Bro,
so
you
let's
know
get
what's
that out
crazy?
the way.
You know what's crazy?
Let's get that out
You
the
know
way.
what's
We're not
crazy?
doing this, bro.
Yo, nah,
We're
if
not
you look
doing
at-
this
If
way.
you look at modern fashion, you see Jeff Hardy in everybody's fits, bro.
Bro, everybody wearing
All
jorts.
that.
There's more people wearing
Nobody-
jorts now.
Nah, man, the baggy pants like Jeff Hardy, bro, and the tank top. I got on the tank top right now. Come on now.
Come on.
All I'm missing is
Because
my
of
long
Jeff.
pants.
Because of Jeff Hardy. Because
No,
of
we
Jeff
call it
Hardy.
white
Because of
Yes,
Jeff
bro.
Hardy,
That's
you're
what I'm
wearing a white.
saying.
You're wearing a white beater because of
Alright,
Jeff Hardy.
I read.
It's a
I
red
read.
beater now.
No,
But
I'm not
it's still
saying.
like
no, Reed is
Alright.
that's
Jeff Hardy swag to this day.
Reed is
Listen,
right.
I love Jeff Hardy is in my top 10 favorite wrestlers ever. He was that dude. But you're comparing John Cena from like 04 up until 08 when Jeff Hardy has basically 1 year to go off of. That's all I'm saying.
1 year. 1 year.
Oh, 08. What?
1 year. Great. Nah, don't do that to me.
You guys always bring up 08. I'm saying when he was I'm saying from the coolness factor from a white kid growing up, from a coolness factor, John Cena was 04 all the way until he got to like what? When he started doing the when he basically took off the jerseys. Like when he wasn't wearing the triple XL jerseys. Like when he was John Cena was sort of cool.
2 years then.
I know. Hold on. I want to let y'all know I'm not bashing Jeff Hardy. I just said he's my top 10 favorite wrestler of all time. I'm saying from a coolness. No, you're not listening because I said from me as a white kid growing up, the coolness factor. Because if you ask me, a lot of people are going to say John Cena's the GOAT. He's not my GOAT. My GOAT's Eddie Guerrero. Forever my favorite. But
let me tell you from a black man perspective though. I looked at Jeff Hardy as being more cool. Like Jeff Hardy is one of the coolest wrestlers when I was a kid, all the way throughout his whole career. I'm saying like at his height in 08, when everybody was a huge Jeff Hardy fan, those years, 08, 09.
Yeah.
Like he was to me, he was damn. Obviously, that's always a joke people tell, but like Obama was probably one of my favorite people. Jeff Hardy was one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Like, even as a kid, before I knew just how cool Rob Van Dam was, and like he smoked weed and all this stuff. Rob Van Dam was one of the coolest wrestlers to me as a kid. Like those two,
that's
two of my favorite wrestlers. Look at somebody like Rey Mysterio. You know what I'm saying? We looked at Rey Mysterio like, damn, this dude is cool as hell. You know what I'm saying?
Naming my mouth right now. That's all my mouth rush.
John Cena, I thought John Cena was cool for a couple of years, and then he got corny.
My bad, it kicked
That's
me
all
out.
it is for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, for everybody, we are not calling
Rey
Rey Mysterio a white man because I know this man just put Rey Mysterio in the conversation.
I didn't say anything.
I'm just talking about the wrestlers I thought was really, really cool, and then John Cena is somebody. I thought John Cena was cool for like a couple years, and then I thought he was corny as hell personally. Like,
I thought he was corny from the moment he came. I thought it was. I'm be real with you. I personally thought it was a little bit like disrespectful a little bit when he first came in. Like I thought it was going right along with the tropes and the just the dumb like mindset of WWE creative when it comes to like black wrestlers, white wrestlers. Like I just like, why are you like, come on now, like this is like it was a mockery to me from the moment that he came in. I couldn't even believe it lasts as long. Like I cannot believe we're talking about John Cena as one of the greatest wrestlers of all. Like how did that like actually really happen? But I'm gonna tell you why. It's because white dudes like you thought that it was so
like,
cool.
But listen,
and y'all made it cool.
I grew up
and then we said, okay, I guess it's alright.
And disclaimer, I grew up on G Unit, 50 Cent. Nah, I grew up on like all that shit. So when I saw him come out with the jersey, a white dude, listen, it's a little different. A white dude, and you're a kid at that point. You don't know any better.
I know, I get it.
You literally see him you see him come out at Raw in St. Louis with the Spirits jersey that's 3XL, and he comes out going, and he got his chain, he got everything, bro. It was sick. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, listen, whatever it is, but I will say Jeff was more authentic. It seems more.
Hell yeah.
I will always. I'm not trying to say he had 1 year. I'm saying people could use 08 as the year when I know for sure, at least after, especially right now with him and Westside Gunn, him having the Heels Have Eyes, him being there, and like the culture around it, what Westside Gunn's built.
It was just on Subway Mania.
Yeah. Like Jeff is. Okay, yeah, Jeff is that white guy. Jeff is that white guy. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm gonna give y'all that.
Jeff not white at all.
Yeah. And I think two things can be true though. I think when you're thinking about traditional, and I hate to say this because it's kind of like stereotyping like white. I think when you think about like white guys, like white wrestlers, I think John Cena is like that guy. I think that Jeff is that guy in a different way because I think that Jeff appealed to all types of guys, and I think he appealed to Black, Latino, and even certain kind of white guys in a way because he was that other. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like he represented, like with his style, with his energy, with his aesthetic, like not that this is what you're supposed to be kind of guy. And I think that's why he resonated with Black men so much because we didn't have a whole lot of Black wrestlers that were like, you know what I'm saying, out there. So we got this white guy who's like cool as fuck and like isn't like the way he looks.
He don't look.
Yeah, it makes me feel like you closer to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I think that's why Jeff.
All right, but what?
Like all us used to do the swan time.
Yeah,
I did too.
We used to do this. We used to.
Yeah. So in the white world, it's John Cena as the best white boy. Sure. But in the rest of the world,
it's not John. It's not John. I'll tell you who it is though.
Who is it? Hulk Hogan?
Stone Cold. It's Stone Cold. Everybody loves Stone Cold.
I could give you that. I could give you that.
Hey, listen, from the white, coming from the white dude.
I'm putting Stone Cold over John Cena for the Black people too. We love some good beer. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean Stone Cold is better than all of them.
I love Stone.
For sure. Stone Cold was just cool.
Hey, but this
wrestler, like,
this brings me back to my point though. This brings me back to my point, Maven. Do you feel the same about Matt Hardy though?
No.
All right.
Reed, what did you talk? Reed, what did you talk about, Reed? What is we talk about here, Reed?
Matt Hardy was like the corny big brother for sure.
Yeah. I just wanted to see the take. You can't leave out Matt. You can't leave out Matt. You can't leave out Matt.
Yes, you could.
Yes, we can.
No, you can't.
Easily.
No,
unless we're talking about tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
Matt, he just doesn't. That's like Stevie Ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
Stevie Ray, yeah.
Hate to say it, you know what I mean? But like phenomenal as a tag team wrestler. Makes sense in tag team conversations, but in singles, just is not a part of the conversation. Right. And here's the thing: I appreciate what he did in his TNA time. I think it was great what he did in his TNA time, but still not enough.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
We'll leave it at that. Jeff's just cool as fuck. We'll just keep it at that.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Coolest white boy all time. Sorry, Reed.
Yeah. It is. Hey, it is what it is. I ain't even mad at it.
What's next?
Let's dive into our thoughts on, since we did talk about John Cena for a minute.
Not again.
Were our thoughts on specifically CM Punk versus John Cena for the last time? Personally, I think it was a really good match.
Yo, yo,
Uh,
yo.
I think the theatrics. I know some people complain about the theatrics in the match and having all the run-ins and stuff. I think it just added an extra element to it and and we did see a moment where like John Cena didn't hit him with the title. You know what I'm saying? John Cena threw the title down. So you can kind of see that even WWE, I think, is realizing that like this heel reign isn't working
Yeah.
because John Cena corny.
Did y'all see
So
what?
the
Did y'all
heel
see what
reign is
Robert
not
said?
working. We gotta yeah. I tried to show it on the screen. I don't think it popped up.
My bad.
But,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. I definitely agree with him. If I had a barbecue, I would invite Jeff Hardy over John Cena. You know what I'm saying? Like Super Cena not coming to my barbecue. But I think CM Punk, like I said, always brings the best out of John Cena. The match was very entertaining. I think the ending was really good. I wish they would have, kind of waited to go back to Seth versus CM Punk, but we all knew we were going back to this. Let's just be honest. We knew that Seth Rollins would probably be the one. Obviously, we weren't going to get a Travis Scott appearance or Jake Paul appearance right now. Seth Rollins made the most sense to be the reason that John Cena won this match. But we also can see that John Cena probably won't cheat this time against Cody Rhodes, and that's why he'll lose at SummerSlam.
I think it was also pretty interesting that John Cena and CM Punk kind of teamed up a little bit to take out Seth Rollins in the during the match. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought it was a really good match. I think, like you said, like Cena, CM Punk always brings out the best in Cena. They have some of their best matches together. I didn't really like mind the theatrics, the overbooking. But the only reason why it mattered to me was because Triple H said that it was the final time. I don't think that should have been the final time.
It's not.
With all the theatrics.
It's not. He lying.
He got to be lying. He got to be lying. But
I don't think we getting it, bro. If John Cena is serious about retiring, I think that's it. It's like him and Randy Orton. I think that's it. Like the whole thing with his reign is the last time.
So you're right.
I think him fighting somebody once other than Cody Rhodes, because I always felt like he was gonna lose the title back to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Other than that, last time for everybody.
I agree.
I thought it was a good match. Neither one of those are two of my favorite wrestlers, to be honest. CM Punk sometimes people, but neither one of them are. But I think together, they have some really, really good matches. So I love how two wrestlers can complement each other and bring the best out of each other. So I appreciated that. A really good match. I loved all the theatrics because otherwise I would have been like, you know what I'm saying? So like, those things gave me more, you know what I'm saying, for the match. So would I like to see them wrestle again? So.
Hey, the way I look at it, they have probably the greatest run of WWE matches of all time. So I wouldn't.
Out of two competitors going against each other?
Money in the Bank, Raw before WrestleMania, and then Night of Champions at one time, bro. That trilogy is crazy.
Of all time.
And WWE, yes. WWE had their first 5-star match in almost 20 years was the Money in the Bank match.
I thought we didn't care about Dave Meltzer.
We're going to use it this time. Why not?
I thought we didn't care. That's not a good metric, Reed.
They have some. I just said matches, though. I'm going off that metric.
I'm saying, though, why you bring up Dave Meltzer? Because they've had plenty other 5-star matches before that match that just didn't get rated.
They do, but I'm thinking of rivalry, like a trilogy of matches. They've had more than that on, like, live events, obviously. Yeah. But just thinking of those matches, especially the Money in the Bank match, well, that's one of my favorites of all time.
I think the Raw before Mania was the best one.
Top 5.
Well, where he did the pile driver.
Maybe in WWE, maybe. But if we stretching back,
a heavy maybe
to if we really looking at the 90s too, like.
I mean, Rock and Austin's always going to be.
First of all, I'm putting Rock and Austin. second of all, I'm putting HBK Undertaker.
Jericho Benoit.
Okay.
I was gonna say them.
I'm not putting Jericho and Benoit over that. Sorry, no.
Jericho and Benoit.
No,
man,
I can't do it. I can't do it. Not over Punk.
Jericho and Benoit. Them
Eddie
matches
and
were
Ray. Eddie
insane.
and Ray, I'm putting over them.
Who?
Shit, I
Eddie
put
and
Jericho
Ray.
and Sean. I put Jericho and Sean too.
Eddie,
No,
Christian,
for sure.
Hardy's, Dudley's.
Jericho and Sean for sure.
that's tag team match though. I'm talking about singles.
If
Okay.
you talking about singles, okay.
Yeah, because that match is amazing by itself. That's just me. I think their rivalry, like, bro, if you think of the time, 2011, they were in the gutter. CM Punk doesn't do the pipe bomb and do all that. I don't know where they'd be. Like, I'm not saying it's solely him. But,
okay, but why you going off of those metrics?
Yeah,
why you talking about where WWE was? You just said single
I
matches.
love their rivalry.
Maybe that's why the matches hit so good. Maybe. I don't know.
I love their rivalry personally.
Yeah,
I'm being biased, I
I
think,
don't
too.
know about putting a match
I
catalog.
love Punk.
Like
I love Punk.
You know what
I'm
saying?
sorry.
But that's your opinion. You entitled to that opinion. But me, I got at least like 5 combinations that I put above them. Just had at least 3 matches. At least 3 matches. Hell, we almost there for Gunther and Dragunov. Shit, fuck it. We almost there for them too.
Oh, that's number
easily.
That's number 1 if we're going off match quality. I'm sorry.
What we've been talking about, Reed, match quality.
You don't think
I will say this, guys. I will say this,
matches?
guys. I feel like we're not appreciating the other eras as much.
Yeah.
In this conversation, and it's hard sometimes because we got so many matches in our minds and our brains, but we had way too many eras for like that to be like the number 1 like of all time. Like,
I'm not saying it's the greatest, but it's up.
Like,
it's
whoa.
Up. It's not the okay. It's not the greatest.
Bret and Owen Hart in their matches. I ain't even Bret and Owen Hart. Like,
yeah, but they didn't.
Just going back to like the 90s. You know what I'm saying?
If you go back to the 80s, bro,
I'm
good. Y'all can keep that. Y'all can keep the 80s.
We can go back even further, bro.
I don't care about the 80s, bro.
Shit, I saw a couple matches, Bret Hart and fucking Mr. Perfect. Oh my god.
Yeah, but you're bringing up one person every time.
God.
You're bringing up one person every time, and it's Bret Hart because he's one of the best ever.
HBK and Undertaker.
Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. That's I didn't say it's the greatest. I said it's one of the greatest. HBK and Undertaker have 3.
Maybe top 10.
It's definitely top 10. Like you could also say AJ. You could also say AJ and Cena.
Shit, I might put their match catalog over that.
I don't know. If you ask any
if you ask those matches, I don't know, man.
If you ask anybody about that Money in the Bank match, bro, they will trust me.
I feel like it's also that's one of those matches that personally, for me at least, I think it is a really solid match. I think it does check off every box to be 5-star because I would give it 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? But I think that is also more iconic, and one of the things that edges it for the 5-star is the moment, not necessarily the in-ring work. The moment that it was Cena versus Punk in Chicago. All of those factors add into that match being seen as so great. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, CM Punk's contract is up. The kiss goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those, that moment, it will forever be a match that we will never forget. You know what I'm saying? But I think in ring wise, I maybe I wouldn't put it even in my top 10 greatest matches of all time.
You would say the Raw match. You would say the Raw match before Mania is their best technical match, and you would say Money in the Bank's just all around a better match.
Yeah, all around, like it's the most memorable. It's the match that if you live through that match, you will never forget that match because it's such a memorable situation, a memorable moment. Yeah, and so I would say the Raw match in ring wise is probably better, and then that Money in the Bank match is just so significant. It's like the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. You know what I'm saying? Or Undertaker versus Mankind. You know, when he goes through Hell in a Cell. You know what I'm saying?
That match,
more memorable
match.
for the moment than the match. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say,
Like Mankind just was highlighting that. That's why I brought it up and saying that like the IWC would tear that match apart if it happened in today's day and age. They
By
would hate it.
far,
People
easily.
would hate that match, but it's one of the matches that people speak of so much when they think about professional wrestling, especially WWF, WWE. You know what I'm saying? That's one of those matches that they speak of a lot. So
All right. Well,
next up, let's talk about Jade Cargill and Oscar. What are y'all thoughts on Jade Cargill winning Queen of the Ring?
makes sense.
I definitely think now more than ever they're definitely gonna run the Naomi cash in at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I'd
I
let
don't
Jade
think it's Jade's time for a belt yet. That's just my opinion. I feel like she needs just a little bit more. But I feel like it's a good step forward, to be honest.
The Saudi crowd was crazy. They need to check
Oh
themselves,
hell no, they racist as hell, bro.
bro.
Well, what did they expect? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like they did the pay per view there, and it's all
They
types of
racist and sexist, so it's
Yeah,
just like not the best
Yeah.
mix for black women wrestlers if we be
yeah, but when Rhea
honest.
Ripley comes, everybody want to go crazy. Blah 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 blah. Like, bro, like what are we doing here, bro?
Yeah, when they was born Bianca, I was like clear
Yeah,
cut on like, yeah, they just don't like black
Yeah.
women. Like I don't
Because
know what it is
Bianca,
over there, but
Bianca is in goat conversations. Like, what are we talking about?
shit. When
already,
they show the prophets in the crowd, bro. The whole crowd just went silent. I was like, bro, you
Yeah.
dead ass?
yeah, it's crazy over there. But I
Go ahead.
personally I wanted Oscar to win, but I do think that storyline wise, I think making Jade win that match made a lot of sense. It's obvious that they are gonna push Jade, that they see her as having this amazing star potential. As you said, Les, I think she still has a long way to go.
Yeah,
She still has so much more improvement to do to where she doesn't need a really need a world title reign. A lot of people say she doesn't deserve a world title reign, but I think giving her a 2-minute world title reign would be cool because it elevates her star presence. She gets to say that she's a world champion, and it would be that much better. I think. I do like the idea that I think was that you Reed that said that she should cash in during the match.
I
Naomi
think
should
I
cash
said
in
it.
during the match. No, you said that
Let's,
Yeah,
she should cash in during the match and make it a triple threat, kind of like Seth Rollins. That way, Jade never even wins the
she
title.
doesn't even
I
taste
like
it. Like
that
it would be
idea
crazy.
better. I like that idea better, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jade win that match. And then Naomi cash in as
I
well
mean,
at
who's
SummerSlam. That should
this?
be the end of SummerSlam. Naomi should be holding that title up. I don't think Bianca's turning heel yet, but I think Bianca will
Get involved.
have something to do with that
That's what
match
I
and
was.
be part
That's
of
what I
the
was
You
reason
talking
that
said,
about.
Naomi wins.
yeah,
That's what I was
Derek.
I
You
said
talking
that
about.
said
last time.
you said she does something by like accident, and
Mhm.
it cost Jay the title. I believe that.
Her and Jade's the Mania match. That's. I
Bianca and
mean,
Jade.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the one they're probably going for. Unless it's just a triple threat between all of them, that'd be cool too.
Shit, I'll take
I
that shit
mean, they
too.
can
I'll
they
take
can
it
push
too.
they can push this feud till then. Especially, I don't know how
They
long
could.
Bianca's out. I know she like hurt her finger or something, but
Yeah, she broke it.
yeah. So I think they could push this storyline on until Mania. They'll have to do some good writing to keep us interested until then. But
Yeah, yeah,
honestly, we've been interested in this storyline, at least over here, I would say, since the push and everybody. We kind of knew it was gonna be Naomi more than likely that
yeah.
pushed Jade Cargill off the edge.
Uh,
What you think, Maven?
what's up, Raven?
Jade is just. I'm not impressed at all with Jade. I'm consistently disappointed with the way that they brought Jade in from the very beginning. I just think it was just not well thought out, way too fast, way too, just a lot of things. And I feel like I feel like they could have went a lot of different directions with bringing her in where it would have made sense by this point for her to win a world title. You know, not even if come in do some squash matches type of like vibe or some stuff like that. But just the way that they tried to bring her in, I just think it's just been a disaster. You know what I'm saying, for me. And so watching that match and seeing like um, seeing her win, I didn't want her to win. You know what I mean? I didn't want her to win. And I feel like the only way for it to make sense would be for there to be some type of situation where she does win the title. You give her the title, like you said, for a couple seconds, 2 minutes, and they get cashes in. You know what I mean? Just so she can have it, we can get it over with. Give her the world title. Boom, she got it, and let's you know what I'm saying, and let her just be Jade in that, because she does have that star power and presence. Let her just be that. You know what I mean? But I really don't know what's going to happen with her wrestling ability, because at this point, how has it not gotten better? You know what I mean? And I think WWE needs to have a real, like, come the moment, be like, how do we package this girl? Maybe she's just not that. Maybe she just needs to be a squash match, like,
So Goldberg.
girl,
So
and
Goldberg.
that's just Goldberg. You know what I'm saying? Like, she should have been a Goldberg since the moment she came in. Like, AEW, I'm gonna be honest, they were trash, but they kind of understood that a little bit. You know what I mean? WWE, I think, thought that they had the magic to, like, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? So pretty soon, the quality of Jade is gonna go further down, and that's what I'm afraid of, because she doesn't deserve that. And so I really hope that creative gets the clue and switches that up fast, because I think that it's heading down a disaster road. All right, I'm done.
You ain't lying. I personally thought that she should have went to NXT first.
Yeah,
Got a
yeah.
chance to develop, working the
Don't agree
PC
with
all the
that.
time.
Don't agree
You think
with
she's
that.
too big of a star for it? You think she's
She
too
was
big of
too
a star for
big.
that?
Too big.
I
Yeah.
just think with the in ring, I just feel like that would have been the best place for her to literally learn the WWE system and improve. But in a certain aspect, like you said, too, personally, my only problem with AEW and her is that she essentially wasn't wrestling. She probably wrestled like 2 to 3 times
Yeah.
usually on AEW. uh, a month. Maybe she wrestles 2 times a month. She's not doing any house shows. She's not doing any other independent wrestling promotions. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't, and that's the only thing that being NXT would give her the ability to be in the PC every week and developing and getting better
But
instead of
bro,
having to
like,
do it on the road on the fly.
but do you think that that's her though? I think what I'm thinking is, I just don't think that I think she has the star power in the sense of a Goldberg. Like, I do not think. I think that she's athletic. I think that she has all the things. I don't think that she's a great professional wrestler. I don't think that's something that she can learn. I don't.
Right.
I don't think that. I don't think it's there. I think that she's a squash match Goldberg like woman. Now the difference is that she has a little bit more charisma in some ways than Goldberg's does. So
And a
she
little
has
bit
an
more athletic.
advantage. You know what I'm saying? She has an advantage. That's where they should have went. I don't know why they didn't think about that. She also could have got a really nice mouthpiece. Like, they could have gave Jade a really nice
Instead
mouthpiece
of shoving her in with Bianca
instead of
to get
shoving
her
her
over.
in. A really nice mouthpiece. Just let her be a dominant force. Do her 3 or 4 moves and just let her Hulk Hogan and Goldberg it out. And
Yup.
they would have had it would have been perfect. But I think that AEW did, they were on the right track. They just didn't have the people in place that really could have did it what it needs to be, done right. But WWE, I think, is thinking that they can, do magic, and
They
I
can
don't think
turn
that.
her into a
Yeah,
amazing in-ring wrestler,
and I
and
don't
you
think that
might
they
be
can.
right, man. I haven't given up on her yet, but you are
It's not
making
a
me
give
really
up
think
though.
about it. Like as far as her like improving very much in ring. Like you're saying though,
Ain't happening.
if she hasn't done it yet, when you look at somebody like and I think a Tiffany Stratton, a Kalani, like Sol Ruka, all of these women, Jada Parker, all of these women who have come from that same athletic type of background, uh, and then learns how to wrestle, and they're kind of naturals at it.
Yeah,
They are naturally improving, and you can see how much better Jada Parker is right now than what she was a year ago. Lola Vice, you can see how much better she is now than 2 years ago.
not happening.
Uh, Jade Cargill, it seems like is she gonna get any better in ring?
No.
She may not ever get any better. And if she
We're gonna
does,
come
like,
back to this conversation.
What's the day? July.
Nah, June 30th.
Right? June 30th. My bad. June 30th. So we're gonna see this time next year in June.
Reed, what do you think? What you
Jay
think?
Cargill, can Jay Cargill get any better? That's a good question. Like,
yeah, Reed, what you think, Reed?
Why y'all put me on the spot? That's crazy.
Wrestling for 4 years now or 5?
Who?
When did she debut in AEW? Jay Cargill.
2020 or 2021?
Yeah.
So she's got 4 or 5 years in, and women that have a year in, 2 years in. Granted, they are working in the PC. I do think the PC works, but you might be right, Maven. She may never become a better in-ring wrestler.
It's giving
If she
Shaniqua.
doesn't, they gotta package her. They gotta
2020.
figure out how.
It's giving Shaniqua. It's
They
giving
gotta
Tough
figure out
Enough.
how to package her. They gotta figure out how to package her properly.
Oh my god.
If they plan on her being a world champion. And I think, honestly, she's a better heel than a face as well. I think that's another thing that they've done her disservice with, is not turning her heel. I think that's one of the big ones for me.
Yeah, because Jade is mad dominant, and they just have her, like, it doesn't really showcase in ring, because all it really shows is that she's strong and powerful, but it don't show that she's dominant.
Yeah.
And that's a disconnect.
It's so, and I mean, listen, WWE has been doing it. I mean, their creative has been turning around. You know what I'm saying. But they've been doing some good stuff. So maybe they got some good minds in there to make it happen. But I'm telling you, what I'm seeing is that all of the hype, the respect, all of the stuff around her is just like fading. It's like I can't see her beating so many girls now. Like I cannot see her in matchups. When she first came, when the first hype up came, I'm like, oh, her and Charlotte and her, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking about all of these matchups. I cannot see her, like facing some of these girls and like deserving, legitimately weak. Like, the dominance isn't there. Nothing is there anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I think the match with her and Tiffany on SmackDown was pretty good.
You so nice.
I think she's had some good matches, but ultimately,
I think she's dope. I think they could use her in a different direction. Like, being a heel probably would be.
What do you think is dope about her? What do you think is dope about her?
I hate to use terms from nowadays, but her aura is crazy. Like, the
yeah,
outfit,
that's what we highlight.
Her entrance, the way she carries herself. Like, in Saudi, did you see where she looked at the crowd and said, yeah, listen, hold on, we'll get to that. When we get to that, when she went to the Saudi crowd and said, y'all stay mad, be mad, and walked out with the crown, that's cold. And you in a different country that just racist as hell. That's cold to me. I love that shit. But I will say,
you're correct. But
she's not bad in ring. I just think she needs to tweak a few things, and she'll be good.
Reed, I'm disappointed. You being too nice.
Nah, bro, I don't think she's that bad. Like, she's really not. Like, the things
people cringe.
I don't know. People say the same things about Rhea sometimes, but Rhea. But Rhea's good to me, other than some of the opponents that have her faced.
I wouldn't compare those two.
Yeah, okay. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't do that. But, like, if you think of dominant, like, in the women's division, like, those are the first two you think of. So, I don't know. If she tweaks a few things, bro, I promise you, it'll work.
So
the mouthpiece,
like Nia Jax needed tweaks.
You think Jade Cargill has
she
put on a 5-star match?
It depends on who it's with.
I don't even know if her Bianca can be 5 stars.
Yes. No. They could.
It's gonna be a match that we want to see. But
bro, they could.
Saying like they're gonna have a classic right now, I can't. I think they'll put on a good match, and there's a difference between a good match, a great match, and an amazing match, and an unforgettable match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then because also match can be unforgettable for bad reasons.
Yeah.
So I think she has.
I think they'll have a good match,
an amazing match.
You think? You think she can put on a? Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't
Wishful
seen it
thinking,
yet
Reed.
personally.
Wishful,
But
bro.
again, like Megan
That's
said, we come back to that.
y'all acting like she's Joe Hendry.
Bro, because
Y'all acting like she's Joe
nah,
Hendry.
bro, I love Jade,
She
but wait,
Goldberg,
bro, I love Jade, but the thing is, it's just
even
like
worse.
what could
Well,
WWE do for her too? That's like that's like my main concern.
she should. I mean, she should stay in the PC. She probably is. We don't know. I mean, she's from Florida. She probably stay working at it. You just
And
got. I
that's
mean,
and that's the problem. Like she been in the PC and it's not, and that's what I mean. Like sometimes you gotta chunk it up and say it's not about you. You just don't have it. Every wrestler is not a match specialist, and you gotta know when to say I'm not a match specialist. Let me work on my 5 moves and do them 5 moves great
I
and get
think
out of there.
it
You know what
could
I'm
be.
saying?
It could be different because I do remember the DDP Goldberg match. I think it was at Halloween Havoc.
Oh
That
my
match is
god.
that match is amazing, and that's
Yeah,
probably Goldberg's best match ever.
And
And
yeah.
sometimes it takes the right dance partner for sure. Like you
that's
said,
what
like
I'm
you
trying to
said,
get
she
at.
gets. But I also, that match is an anomaly in the 3, 4, 500 matches that Goldberg has had. You know what I'm saying? So sure, I think Jade Cargill can have some anomalies, but I'm saying like on a night to night basis,
Yeah.
I just don't see it getting there.
Hey,
When you really think about it, like she's been wrestling for 5 years now,
it could be just a
and it
reps
ain't
thing.
clicking yet. And it ain't
It could just
clicking
be a
yet.
Yeah.
reps thing.
I brought that up. That's why I think, I thought NXT, personally, I thought NXT would have been really, really good for her. But star wise, for sure.
That's like them putting Mariah May in NXT. She should after what you saw with Tony Storm. Why
Agreed.
did you not put her in the main roster?
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
So I see what you're saying. I mean, Jade in NXT for a little bit wouldn't have been bad, but at the same time,
The best they could have did for Jade in NXT was for her to come in. She could have, if they would have gave her Extreme, came in, won a title immediately, like boom,
that's what
bah,
Ethan. That's what
title.
Ethan. That's what Ethan. That's what Ethan Page did. So
That's
I
about
mean,
it. That's the only way to
what's
me it would have
stopping him?
made sense for her to do an
Right, just wait for like
NXT.
20 more
You know what I
minutes.
mean? And something. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have made sense for her to do NXT. But other than that, like to kind of just stay around there for any time, like I don't think it made sense for her. And WWE packaged her arrival too well for that to happen. Like it was just too much of a, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
for her to come into to NXT. But kind of going back to what you were saying about like for her even coming to NXT, I feel like AEW, one of the reasons why I think that AEW did not have her do a lot of matches is because I think they have a lot of people there that are ex WCW guys, and I think that those WCW guys saw that was like, this is Goldberg, like this is, and you know what I'm saying, and it was just like, we go, this is the goal, this is what it is, boom, that's her. And I think that they just ran with it. I don't
I
think
think she
AEW.
said
I
it,
think
bro.
that I'm gonna be real with you. I think that was one of the best things I feel like AEW did. You know what I'm saying? Because I
Like
think they
give her a smooth.
recognize she's not going to be that wrestler. This is the Jade you're gonna get. And I think that WWE, should have did the same formula that they did with Goldberg and had her come in and go straight into the straight into the. They could have kept her record if they're already breaking the wall. So they should have just kept it with like this her AEW record. And just boom. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we would have been having a different conversation about Jade. Just my thoughts.
Hmm.
So you would say that for sure you think that she's really reached her ceiling at this point. Like
I
she's not
do.
getting anybody.
I
And
do.
Reed, you think that the ceiling is still, she got room to go for that
I
ceiling. You
do.
think that she
Because
has
I
room
feel
to
like
go.
this. I feel like this. Naomi, the whole like storyline with her and Naomi, for me, shouldn't have played out the way that it did. Like the popularity, the way, like the whole dynamics of their popularity with each other, and how people are so behind Naomi, thinking about like the whole storyline with all of them. To me, I thought was going to play out very differently. But I feel like a lot of it didn't play out that way because people are losing their love and faith and desire and investment in Jade Cargill. I think that she's losing the fan base. I'm gonna be honest with you, that she had when she came in, And so I think it's constantly going down. You know what I mean? I think that WWE is pushing it and they're constantly pushing her as the machine. But I think overall, people are like, nah. And it's like we're loving her aesthetic and her look, but like people not feeling it. And I don't think it's gonna, yeah. I think
And I
it's,
think I can kind of concur with you on that. Obviously, I was biased because I'm also the biggest Roxanne Perez fan on here. So, but I saw a ton of other people share the same sentiment of Jade Cargill should not be beating Roxanne in this match. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of, and I think a year ago people would not have been saying that. A year ago,
no.
everybody was on the Jade train saying, "Man, I can't wait till she turns on Bianca. We can get the," you know what I'm saying? It seems like it's more and more people that are like preferring other women's wrestlers like upcoming Roxanne, who is only 23 years old, turning 24 this year, and sky's the limit for her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To somebody like Jade Cargill, who we've seen for over a year now, going on 2 years, and it just doesn't. Let me ask y'all this: do you think that she has improved any over this last year and a half, 2 years? I personally think that she has improved a little bit, but
She
Yeah,
has.
not
She
as much as
has.
she should have.
yeah.
Working with somebody like Bianca, working with someone like Naomi, Asuka, Io, Kyrie Sane, like
Yeah.
coming in and feuding with Damage Control, all of these things that she's had the competition. If we being honest, she's had the competition to excel and to become a better wrestler, but it just hasn't seemed to improve as much as you would hope over a year and a half of her being pushed the way she's been pushed.
I feel like something kind of like what you and Maven been saying. It's just like I feel like something now, a year and a half later, something should have clicked more. Like I don't want to like neglect the fact that I feel like she did improve, but something should have clicked more to be like, damn, like I feel like Jade could put on a 5-star clinic right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's very, very different. Um,
Hey,
but
she could.
Reed,
She could. You never know. I don't know,
she
bro. She could. I don't know.
she could, but
She not.
I think it'll be an anomaly if it happens right
Hey,
now. I think
let
an
it'll
it
be
be an
anomaly.
anomaly.
let it be an anomaly. Then I don't care, bro. It is what it
Aw.
is.
I hope that I can be wrong on it.
Yeah, me too,
I
me
hope
too.
that we're wrong and Jade Cargill does just improve. But also, how old is Jade Cargill? You look it up right quick, Les.
Yeah,
She's
I
in
got
her.
you.
She's like in her early 30s, I think.
You think early? Well, she was earlier.
Give
Hey,
it a
hey,
rest.
She
happy
I thought
birthday!
33.
she was in. She
Happy
33. Okay,
Happy birthday
almost
to
mid.
Cody Rhodes.
Almost
He's
mid
40
30s.
today. He
Happy
Derek's
birthday
age.
to.
Dang, Cody is 40?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
Derek's
man.
age.
That's crazy.
Hey, man. For once, I'm not the oldest person on the podcast, man. So leave me alone. For what?
Wait,
Shit.
who the oldest on the podcast?
Maven, I
Me?
think he talk about you, Maven.
Yeah, I think you the oldest.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh damn, I am the oldest on the podcast.
Maven, how old
Yeah,
you is?
we the
Man.
OG. We
How
got an
old you is,
OG on
Maven?
here now.
Hey, we don't shame. We don't shame.
34.
Ah, you
He
good.
Man,
OG.
You
He
good.
OG. He the same age as my uncle. He the same age
Yeah.
as Lulu. So
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
definitely.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I'm
But
still the
also,
youngest.
it's good
I'm
to
still
get.
the youngest,
yeah,
It's
he's
bro.
always
still the
good to get
youngest.
Maybe
youngsters,
that's
man.
maybe that's why I'm just like Jade ain't happening.
And the John Cena, understandably, you were part of
Yeah,
the older crowd. I see. I watched wrestling with my uncle, who is the same age as you. Like that's who I watch wrestling with every day. We both hated John Cena at a
yeah.
certain point. We were the John Cena haters. We were the guys in the crowd. John Cena sucks. Like we
Mm.
were those guys. You know what I'm saying? So definitely
John
makes
Cena, I
makes a lot
mean,
of sense.
yeah, he turned me. I mean, he was one of the reasons why I was watching. I'm gonna be real, watching WWE a little bit less. Like I started to really
Same,
get into
same.
TNA more and Ring of Honor more. And thankfully, you know what I'm saying, it made me get into the other companies more because I just hated that era when it was like pushing him and a few others at that time. So it really put my interest back into some of the other companies. So I'm actually grateful that he was trash because that made like. really get into like
Facts, facts, facts. We had to look for the alternatives. We had to look for the
TNA and Ring of
alternatives.
Honor, and I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So yeah, I can agree.
Okay,
But
next
now
match.
we brought up brother Cody Rhodes. So Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Obviously, me personally, I think that's the tip of the iceberg for them. I think down the road, Randy Orton is gonna get upset. He's gonna turn on Cody Rhodes. I think he'll let Cody Rhodes win the title at SummerSlam though. But ultimately, I think this was the right decision, a clear cut decision, um, especially the way John Cena's reign has went. If we've been honest, it's been lackluster. I think we all can agree that it hasn't been what we would hope that a John Cena run would be. But I did personally say off bat after Cody lost, he should get it back at SummerSlam. Worst case, he gets it back in Cena's last match. But obviously, this is the first 2-night SummerSlam. They're gonna want to have a WrestleMania level main event. And if it wasn't gonna be Cena versus CM Punk, if it wasn't gonna be Cena versus Randy Orton, you know what I'm saying? Cena versus AJ Styles, there really wasn't that big of a list of faces that Cena could face at SummerSlam. Maybe even Roman Reigns could be in that category. And you know what I'm saying? That would be ideal. We got somebody in the chat saying that Roman gonna confront Cena after SummerSlam. Cena did come back at Money in the Bank.
We don't want to
I'm
see
cool
that.
with
We don't
that.
want to see that.
I
We don't want to.
Cool
We
with
don't want to
that,
see
but
that,
honestly, we need Cena lose this belt ASAP.
bro.
Cena need to lose his belt. If anything, I think Roman Reigns will stop
Hey,
Seth Rollins
Cena.
from cashing in. Seth
I
Rollins
got
will probably try to cash in on Cody Rhodes, and
Yeah.
that's when Roman Reigns comes back and reignites his feud with Seth Rollins.
Cena.
Roman Reigns versus Cena, we don't need it. Cena needs to
No
lose
need.
that belt and
Cena.
turn face
Cena.
and end his run off with the crowd cheering him on. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
Cena
Because the
to
heel
do
run is
the.
not working. Cody always had to be the guy to beat Cena too, though. Cody is the new face of the company, and Cena was the face of the company for years. If it's anybody that's gonna dethrone Cena, and it wasn't gonna be a CM Punk, it needs to be Cody
Y'all,
Rhodes at
y'all know.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So
Y'all know
perfect
what I'm
decision.
gonna. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Cena should do the right thing. What do you think I'm gonna say?
I don't know.
He should give Carmelo Hayes a match and put him over.
At
I
the end of the
wish.
reign, at the end of the reign, at the
Yes.
end of the reign,
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the run, at the end of the run.
Yes.
I
That's what I'm
personally,
saying.
I've been said, y'all know a year ago, I said Carmelo should be the last match. Carmelo should be the guy that beats
Yeah,
Cena
I
in
do
his
remember
last
that.
match.
Yeah.
In his last match, that's the last match that I
This
want
is
for John Cena.
this is the
Obviously, at
Carmelo
that time,
Hayes.
I didn't see Cena, you know what I'm saying, winning the world title until he
This
won the Elimination Chamber.
we might be the only podcast that puts Carmelo Hayes in every situation to see
We
how
be
it
like,
works out.
what did
Because he
Carmelo
deserved
do?
this shit.
He deserves it,
He
bro.
What
deserved
happened
this
He
if
shit.
deserves
Carmelo
it.
Hayes won Money in the Bank? What would happen if Carmelo Hayes won Royal
Yeah.
Rumble? You know what I'm saying?
Every time we talk about certain situations, you're like, where does Carmelo fit in all this?
But yeah, I can agree with you on that for sure, wholeheartedly. But I do think that Cody was the right decision. I think him and Randy put on a good match. I think the ending could have been better. But ultimately, you know, I think Orton was selling his back a lot throughout that match. So from that aspect, one crossroads, twisting your neck and everything like that, it kind of makes sense why he stayed down for the 3 after getting ran into the bare turnbuckle. You know what I'm saying? So I would have liked him to kick out, and then Cody kind of have to decide: do I spare you or do I go for the kill? And Cody, I think, is at that point where he knows he has to go for the kill. He cannot hesitate anymore, or he will not regain his world championship, let alone keep it once he gets it.
That was the cleanest RKO sell of all time, or at least up there. It has to be. The way he hit the mat, like from his torso to his back, and like the way he flipped over, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. I agree with everything y'all said. Yeah, I don't really got no. Yeah.
No notes.
I think
We don't care. Let's move on. Let's go. All right. So
So we go.
Go ahead,
What
man.
match?
No, Les, go ahead. I'm
Go
joking,
ahead,
bro. I'm joking.
I read. I just wanted to say I thought it was actually a really really good match. I knew it was gonna be a good match, but just seeing them after all this time, just like locking it up again, I think they did their due diligence. I think they have immaculate chemistry. I want to see Randy Orton punt kick Cody Rhodes like 4 times.
Yeah.
One at least one. I need to see it at least once. That's just a me thing though.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it yet.
And he was holding back. He was holding back.
This would have been like, wait, how many world titles does Randy Orton have? Just random question.
14.
14, right? Okay. Do we consider world titles in the conversation at all when we're talking about the greatest or talking about like greatest wrestlers? Do
Yeah.
y'all
Of
do
course,
y'all
of course.
consider that?
I think accomplishments has to play a factor somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're clear cut saying like I'm only talking about in ring, I'm only talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
mic skills. But if we are encompassing the wrestler, accomplishments and what they've been able to accomplish has to be part of the conversation.
I guess I asked that question because I feel like when I think about, and this is just a random offshoot, but when I think about like world title reigns in this last era versus like previous eras, it's like hella people with like like 10 plus reigns as opposed to like that other era and you think that, you know what I'm saying, Joker's had that, it was like, 4, 5, 6 reigns at most.
Roman,
You know what I'm saying?
Roman's in that conversation too with the 4 years he had the belt.
And so, so you had people that had very, very long reigns and only a couple reigns. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm just like, is holding the title so many times really significant in the grand scheme of being like one of the greatest? You know what I'm saying? As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to previous years where it's like people were really like holding their title and defending their title and really being like a consistent world champion in a much different way. You get what I'm saying? So I guess for me, sometimes I don't think about like those world title reigns as much when I'm thinking about the greatest because I think about like Rock, Austin, you know what I'm saying? People like that, Jericho, all of them, like they don't have that many reigns, you know what I'm saying? But these the people sting. These the people that are always in the conversation when we're talking about the greatest. You know what I mean?
HBK,
So
HBK. You know what I'm saying? All of
HBK,
those
right?
guys.
Taker.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart, you know what I'm saying? So like all of these people didn't have a lot of reigns, you know what I'm saying? And they're like still to this day, you know what I mean, in those top 10 conversations. They, as a matter of fact, they occupy almost most of the top 10, you know what I mean? Versus some of the, other people that's in the 15, 16, you know what I'm saying? Well,
Like
nah,
the Codys,
13,
the Cenas, the
not the
Randys,
Codys.
the Ric Flairs, not the Codys, yeah.
Yeah, that
The
ain't
Triple
happening.
H's, you know what I'm saying? The Triple H's, all of those guys. You definitely
Cody's got
you made a good
Cody's
point
got
on
time.
that.
You think Cody is going to get
I
up
think
there?
Kobe probably get like 5 or 6. Like he just got his first.
Oh, I
He
thought you
just
meant
Yeah.
got
like
his
being.
first.
I thought you meant like being like in the conversation for.
Oh, yeah. Like the greatest?
Yeah, I think when all
Yeah,
said and
he
done,
still got time to maybe
Yeah.
get in there. I
he
don't think
he
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 got
will.
he got a good 10 years still, I think, left
yeah.
in his pocket.
That's like Seth. That's like Seth is closing in. Like he's getting there.
Uh-huh. I don't think Cody will be in the greatest of all time conversation, but
He's gonna be a
I think that
outside
if
or
we
he's
gonna
gonna
put
be
Roman in
in.
there, I think if people gonna put Roman in there, I'm gonna put Cody in there. I'm gonna put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
I
Maybe,
think if
yeah.
people gonna put Roman in
okay.
there, then I'm gonna
I
say
didn't put
Cody.
Roman in there. I just want to say that.
I'm saying though down the line though, I think down the line, of course the younger generations
uh,
especially will
we'll
have
put
Roman
Roman.
Reigns
Yeah.
in there, and they
You just
will have
keep
Cody
making
in
me
there
feel
too.
old.
I mean, I'm
Because he's
being
The
saying the
real.
younger
younger
generation.
generation,
That's
the younger
what I be
generation.
talking about too. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I'm a guy that you know what I'm saying. These as much as I love Seth Rollins and people like him, Cody Rhodes, like my era is the what's up with you, Jerry? My era is AJ Styles, Randy Orton, John Cena. I was born during the tail end of HBK's first reign, the end of the Attitude Era, really. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
still like my first memories is Stone Cold, The Rock, HBK, DX,
What up, Jared?
uh, NWO, of course, in WCW and all of the and the end of ECW. You know what I'm saying? But by the time I'm 6, 7, 8 years old, we in the WWE Ruthless Aggression era. You know what I'm saying? So that's really and then I started watching TNA in like 05, 06. You know what I'm saying? So getting all of that era, you know what I'm saying? Like now we got kids that are growing up and that's all they gonna know is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, John Moxley, Cody Rhodes,
If
Drew
you,
McIntyre, you
John
know what I'm
Moxley.
saying?
all right, this is stupid to bring back up, but y'all know how we were talking about the coldest white boys. I just thought about this, talking about the greatest. Rob Van Dam has to be in there too. I'm
I
just
Yeah,
had
gonna
said
make.
that. You had
yeah,
missed that
we
part of the
yeah.
conversation.
Oh, I must
I
have
Yeah,
had
been
said
out.
like
I
definitely
must
top
have
10.
been out.
you
I
had
must have been out.
Definitely
your
top
mix
10.
Yeah,
up
I
there
must
for
have been
sure.
out.
But
My
yeah,
bad. All right.
Rob
Are there
Van
any
Dam,
other ECW guys that y'all would put in the top 10?
Shit, I'll
Even if
put
they wrestled in other companies. I mean, we already
Sabu.
Sub.
in the top.
I'll put
wrestling in
Sabu somewhere up
general,
there.
or like cool factor,
Oh yeah,
I would
yeah.
say,
or like
for me,
favorite,
it's in
because Rob
general.
Van Dam definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Obviously, like honestly, I was an ECW guy as a kid, like so I look at Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, all of those guys that
D
came up
Malenko.
through.
Please put D
Uh,
Malenko somewhere up
yeah,
there.
of course, you know what I'm saying. All the guys that came in through
Billy
there,
Kidman.
you know what I'm saying. I was Juventud, you know what I'm saying. Like so
Yeah,
many
super
guys,
Juicy,
crazy.
crazy.
Super
You know
Juicy,
what I'm
crazy.
saying? Rhino, like I love those guys. I
Raven.
would say
Nah, I'm
besides
good.
like Jerry
I'm good on
Lynn,
that.
uh, probably Rob Van Dam that I would consider like a straight ECW guy.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam, he's probably ranks the highest for me
Yeah.
personally.
Hey,
For me personally,
no one said Tommy Dreamer though.
Fuck
I
Tommy
fucked with
Dreamer.
Tommy, but
Get
you
him
know,
out of here.
I
Get
Hell
him
fucked
out
no.
of
with Tommy.
here.
He don't belong
No.
nowhere near the list.
You know what
No,
I'm
get him out
saying?
of here,
And
bro.
there's so many guys that is like,
The
do we consider
Dudleys.
them
The
an ECW
Dudleys.
guy? Do we consider them a WCW guy? Do we consider them a WWF guy? You got somebody like Mick Foley. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like Terry Funk, who,
Yeah.
you know,
Ooh.
for me, he's an ECW guy because I wasn't really born to see him do all the things he did in NWA, AWA, and things like
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? So, or even the stuff that he did like in Japan and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Terry
Yeah.
Funk is an all-time great, all-time legend. So many wrestlers have said that him and Dory inspired them, as well as the amount of wrestlers that they trained. But like guys that is Eddie Guerrero a WCW guy or ECW guy? He's an ECW first. Same with Rey Mysterio. All of those guys that I think most of us would consider them like WCW guys. But yeah, Rob Van Dam is the ECW guy that I think is like
I
he's
consider
one of my
Eddie the
all-time favorites.
SmackDown. Strictly SmackDown is
Yeah,
what
I
I
know you a
consider.
youngin, man. You're a youngin.
But he's my favorite of all
Yeah.
time, though. I've seen his match
No, I'm
catalog:
fucking with you.
ECW, WCW, W. I did my research. He's clear cut my favorite ever.
Yeah, I love that.
I agree. I definitely think that Rob Van Dam is the only straight ECW guy. And what I mean by that is, like you said, we got a lot of guys who went through all of the different companies. But I think
Sandman.
not in the greatest of all time though.
Sabu.
Now
Yeah,
we
but
were supposed to.
he's up there.
Sabu is the one that I would say other than
Jerry
my
Lynn and
boy, I
RVD.
would put other than those three.
Taz.
Taz's career just got cut so short, man.
Yeah, yeah.
If he doesn't have
And the only reason
if he doesn't have the neck injury, he has potential to be up there. But
I feel
his
like
career got cut short.
Oh, Mike
I
Awesome.
feel like-
Mike Awesome too. He was there for a
Correct.
while.
I want to.
wait, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about greatest? Because if we talking about greatest, Mike Awesome
I can't put Mike Awesome. He has one of the greatest matches of all time for sure. You know.
Oh, by far.
His match catalog is crazy.
Him and Tanaka, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, Mike Awesome, he's another guy whose career kind of got cut short. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, him going to WCW ruined his career.
I'm putting the Dudleys up there too. They were in ECW for a minute too.
Yeah.
We talking about tag teams for sure.
Wait, we talk about
It would be for me. It would be. Or I feel like the only. To be honest, if I did a top 10 of greatest, or even a top 20, to be honest with you, I feel like RVD would probably be the only ECW guy in my top 10. If I did a top 20, and I'm talking about mostly ECW guys, I might sneak in like a Jerry Lynn, You know what I mean? Because my thing with Jerry Lynn is that's another one who, like, outside of his ECW catalog, we weren't able to really see what Jerry Lynn could really do because he really didn't have a significant career in any of his other places. You know what I mean? Even his short WWE career, it was cool, but they
Ring
had
of
him.
Ring of Honor. He was in Ring of Honor for a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really
He
get
didn't
to
get to
like
be one of the
flex.
faces. Yeah.
You
Hey,
know what I'm saying? So like,
y'all better than me.
that's why I can't put him in the conversation.
I'm putting Colin Delaney in my ECW goats.
Reed, what are you?
Elijah Burke. Let's go. Let's run it.
Elijah Burke different. Elijah Burke.
Yeah.
I used to fuck with Elijah Burke. Shit.
WWE,
Man.
ECW.
All right, my age.
I don't even want to talk WWE, ECW. Like that is just
That's not
a
even
bad
ECW.
fever
Yeah, that's
dream,
not
man.
ECW.
A bad fever dream.
I put the zombie top 10, bro. Y'all remember the zombie?
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I think that Rob Van Dam definitely the guy that cracks into that list for sure. It was somebody else I was thinking of, but they're escaping me. So let's get into no. I was gonna say in ring wise. We talk about in ring skill, right? Another guy that I consider ECW guy. I know what he did in WCW. He was a triple champion in WCW. But Lance Storm. If we just talk about like in-ring ability, ECW guy, Lance. I consider Lance Storm an ECW guy despite him spending time in WWF and WCW. But in-ring, Lance Storm, not the total package, but in-ring, he's one of the best in-ring competitors, and he's an ECW guy that I would put on my list of best wrestlers of all time in ring.
Yeah.
For sure, top 10 for me.
In ring, match, yes. You're on to something. Look,
Lance Storm, that's my guy. That's my guy. That's another one of my favorite in-ring wrestlers of all
They
time.
never gave him a world title.
In either company. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a guy that had the potential. I love him as a tag team wrestler. He did amazing things on the mid card in WCW, you know, winning 3 titles at one time, you know what I'm saying? Like doing crazy stuff.
Yeah. The perfect example how to be a boring white guy and be entertaining.
Shit. I think
he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Maven, like he gets it. He needs to teach.
Maven, not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm sorry. He should teach Kenny. This is how you be a boring white guy and be amazing. It can be done.
White boy exited the building.
I'm just saying.
So
it is what it is.
Next, before we close out, we got about 10 more minutes. I don't want to run too long because we can talk about wrestling all day. As y'all can see, all 4 of us really love wrestling.
All right, we'll move on.
But I want to talk about really quickly your favorite mid-carder. So, and mid-carder, I'm classifying as someone who never won a world championship. Perfect that we just talked about somebody like Lance Storm. Who is your favorite mid-carder of all time? You can do an honorable mention, but who would be that one? And then if you want to give somebody an honorable mention that never won a world title, but is one of your favorite wrestlers ever.
Y'all already did this question before?
I don't think we did it strictly for who hasn't won a world title.
Yeah.
Damn. That's a hard one. Like,
just pick 3, Maven. Just pick 3.
3.
Yeah, go with 3. That'll make it a little easy. First
Billy Gunn.
Ooh. That's a good one. I got a different Billy on my list.
Damn. This is hard. I'm going to say, damn, somebody I wish would win a world title. Really probably don't deserve it. Shouldn't have it. But now I'm just feeling like nostalgic for them. Dustin Rhodes.
Okay. I like that.
At least AEW title he could have won.
Yeah.
ROH World Championship.
Yeah, like, go ahead.
Give me what I'm saying?
Like,
all right,
you know what I'm saying? Dang, this is hard. Like, I think I'm gonna go with my first one, my Billy Gunn, because it's so many people that's like slipping my mind. Lance Storm will probably be on there, so I'll say Lance Storm. So those would be my 3.
I like that.
I got one definitive one that might.
Go ahead,
Yo, 1 second, bro. I'm just finishing up the pod.
Go ahead, Reed.
Get off the
Mute
phone,
your mic, Les.
Les.
Mute your mic.
Oh, my fault.
Who you got, Reed?
Shelton Benjamin. That was my one all the time.
Oh,
That's who I was
okay.
gonna say too. Shelton Benjamin
Yeah,
was my.
he's always been my one.
That's gonna be on
why
my
you
fourth.
taking-
That's my fourth.
That was gonna be mine.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
of us
that's
was gonna
my-
say Shelton Benjamin. Yeah,
That's my number one.
definitely the
Shelton
first guy
Benjamin.
that
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
mind that
I love what
never
he's.
won the
I
world
love what he's doing
championship.
right now too, bro. I'm so happy they're giving him TV time. He's with Bobby and Montel. MJF is
Obviously, I'll
story,
put
bro.
MVP up there as well.
Yes.
Yeah, easily.
I'll put MVP up there as well.
Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy. For me,
sure, for
personally.
sure. And then
He got a world title. Kennedy
he
got a
won
world
TNA
title.
though.
Oh
he got
yeah.
one in TNA.
My
Yeah.
bad.
And
Technically,
then
yeah,
I
you
was gonna
right.
say Billy Kidman. Billy Kidman for me. I think that if WCW didn't close their doors, I think Billy Kidman was gonna be world champion. They let him beat Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? Like it seemed like he was the cruiserweight that they were choosing to elevate to the world title scene. So I just felt like that's I feel
My
like
phone's
that's
gonna die.
and again I'm finna talk about Billy Kidman a little bit later in this one. Let's get yours, Maven. Your 5 favorite wrestling theme songs of all time.
Damn. Theme songs or see? I was thinking
Interest music. Yeah.
I wrote a little list too, bro.
I'm gonna try to fire mine off the top of my head.
Number one is gonna be the Sandman.
Enter Sandman
Okay.
Yeah.
by Metallica.
Metallica, the Sandman. That's my number one. Number two would have to be Jericho's.
Break down the
Fozzy.
wall.
Break down. No.
Judas.
Oh, Judas.
Yeah, I
yes,
put
yes.
Number
Man.
two would be Judas.
Get that
Number
shit
three
off.
will probably be break the walls. Break the walls. That would be probably number three. So two for Jericho. Four, Shane McMahon. Here comes the money.
Hey, here comes the money. That's my shit too.
Bro, yeah, that one's great. The way he comes out swinging his arms.
Yeah. Here we go. Here comes. Number five. Let me think about my number five. Somebody else go. I'm gonna come back.
All right, go ahead. You want to do yours, Reed, or less?
I could do it because I have my little list right there. Because I had to give
What a loser. What a loser.
Fuck. Man. First is Slow Chemical, Kane. That's when he's on massive Ball Kane. No More Words, Jeff Hardy.
I know you're going Jeff.
Obviously. Third, Burning My Light. That's Randy's theme song. His main theme song from this one is kind of cheating, but it's kind of not because it's Bryan Danielson from Ring of Honor, the Final Countdown. And I love that entrance, the spotlight as he walks to man. Last that rounds out my list is SOS, Kofi Kingston. Y'all don't know, bro. I'm not going. Nah. Don't even laugh because I actually had that shit on my Spotify, bro. I love that shit.
Shut up.
Wait. I got 3 honorable mentions, bro. I got.
Hard, boy.
Hold on.
He been waiting for this question. He been waiting for this question.
I got Kelly theme song, Holla. You know that Holla. Yeah, Reed, what are you talking about, Reed? Okay. Man,
yeah.
Just Close Your Eyes, but the Christian one, the one with the guys. I didn't like the original one. I like the Go if you close your eyes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then lastly, Judas. Fozzy. Yeah.
Man, y'all.
Yeah.
You got yours, Reed?
Yeah. Okay. So number one is Cult of Personality. That's Metalingus is 2.
Obviously.
I would say Stone Cold's Glass Break. I don't know what it is. Bro. You hear that glass, it's your ass. That's all I hear. That's all I can think about, bro. What's an underrated one? Or the See the Writing on the Wall.
No More Words. Yup.
Fifth one. Oh, Mark Henry. Somebody go and get their ass kicked. Yeah. That's and then my honorable mention. I don't want to use an obvious one. I want to use like might be my number one. Who's that jumping out the sky?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that might be my one. That might be my one. So yeah, that's what I got.
Rey Mysterio used to pop out like that.
Yeah, bro.
In no particular order for me, Billy Kidman, WWE theme song.
Yeah.
Easily. I see you don't know who you dealing with. I don't know at all.
Yo, that shit was hard, bro.
Like that was that joint back then. I definitely gotta give some to RVD's theme song in TNA.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite joints.
I like you doing the one of a kind.
I love one of a kind too, but I like the TNA theme song.
That's a good
more.
pick.
I got my. Okay, go ahead.
I'm thinking recency bias. I'm putting Cody Rhodes in there.
Kingdom.
I gotta put Kingdom in there. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorites. Probably my favorite right now. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna put Victoria in there.
Yeah, bro.
You know
Yeah,
like,
dog.
that was a banger. That was a banger too. Damn, a fifth one. I'm on 5, right? Yeah.
I know what.
It's so hard because there's so many amazing theme songs, and I want. Did I not say Eddie Guerrero?
Nah.
Viva la raza. That was my shit.
That was good.
Yeah, you would think that's my favorite one.
What about Chavo?
Yeah. And I feel like there was a lot of entrances there. I hated the song, but like I liked that first couple seconds of like, you know what I'm saying? But my fifth one is gonna be The Brood. Gangrel.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then outside of that,
this fire burns.
I just lost it. It was just in my brain. Go ahead, say yours.
I forgot.
Get Ready to Fly.
Do you remember yours?
That's one of my joints. Yeah, I do.
Oh, go ahead. You said it.
McIntyre original theme song.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that was the
Broken Dreams.
Yeah. So say goodbye.
I think you said RVD. I like the ECW RVD.
Ooh, that's a good
pick.
That's a good pick.
What do you say?
My favorite entrance of all time, though, is when Tommaso Ciampa came out to no music. That was the coldest shit ever. Bro, I'm sorry. That was the coldest shit ever, bro.
I think Samoa Joe entrance underrated, bro. He used to walk with the towel and the TNA theme though.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, he finna whoop some ass.
I think Shinsuke's with Rick Boogs was amazing too.
When he debuted on SmackDown?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And that sound that Awesome Kong makes, was it TNA or ECW that like that little sound? Not the WWE one, but it was or was that WWE? Which entrance was that where she had that sound that you knew was Awesome Kong? That like it was like a little sound. I can't think of it.
I think it's a TNA one.
I think Gunther's is good too. Like Jaws.
Yeah.
What was the one I was?
Any wrestler that can make a sound and you're just like, yes.
This one.
Yes.
That one. And y'all remember Matt? I can slam a tornado.
We forget Kurt. We forget Kurt Angle.
That's one of the most iconic joints. I like this TNA one more though. His TNA one was a banger too, man.
HBK's
obviously, that's got to be up there. It's so many. That's why it's hard to.
None of us said Undertaker's bell.
Hey, that's one of the most iconic.
Oh, keep rolling.
Yeah. That's one of the greatest, bro.
Yeah, man. WWE
whoa. Ain't no stopping me, nah.
I
It's so
personally,
many.
I
And
personally
speaking of
like
the face of people who don't want to be cool,
Toot, 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 toot.
Carlito shit was nice too, man.
None of us said DX
Yeah, I was thinking about
yeah,
DX.
Oh,
DX.
or
Especially,
NWO because
especially the Run DMC.
I don't
I
like
really love the
Wolfpack.
Run
I don't
DMC
like
version of
I don't
DX
like
theme
I don't
song.
like NWO Wolfpack's theme song.
You
really.
don't?
It sounds
really?
like a Logic. It sounds like a
Mm,
Logic Pro
mm, mm,
preset
mm,
beat.
mm.
Wait, what about
Don't
this?
turn
What
your
about
back
this?
on the wolf pack. You might end up in it. Hey, this
Yeah,
song is so cool.
Come on,
Triple H
yeah,
is
come
at
on,
all bangers. Triple
come
H is at
on.
all bangers. If we being honest, like you could go with the King of Kings.
Oh, that's my
Time to
favorite
The
Triple
King
H
of
theme song.
Kings.
Hey, y'all
Play
forgetting
the game like
Time
y'all
to play
forgetting
the
the goat.
game.
Y'all forgetting the goat theme song.
Yeah.
Where is the beast? God?
that's the era when everybody thought that like the wrestlers
They
did
were
their
singing
own
their theme
theme
song.
song.
They were singing
You
their theme
couldn't tell me
song.
that wasn't the
They
big
were.
show, man. You couldn't tell me that wasn't the
I'm
big
like
show.
Randy Orton. Hey, nothing you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Burning
I
Light.
do
That's why I didn't
appreciate
say
The
Burning
Rock
Light because he put
too,
that up there.
because The Rock's theme songs were the same, but always changing, but always really kind of appropriate, like for his different changes.
Uh-huh.
So
Yo,
I think they did a real good
Yeah.
job with him with that.
I
true,
agree. I agree.
Whew. Good stuff. Good
man.
We've
stuff,
been on
y'all.
for about 2 hours. We can argue, but we gotta get you back on here real soon because we're gonna have to argue about Mercedes Monet. Especially matter of fact,
Oh,
I'm gonna wait till she get her 7th belt. Then I'm gonna bring you on and we can talk about Mercedes Monet after she beat Tony Storm at All In. You know, that's what I'm hoping happens at least, you know what I'm saying? But it was an honor to have you on here.
We
You're
appreciate you for
somebody I
pulling up.
respect so much. You have definitely, I would say, earned my bros respect as well. Just showing how much in-depth wrestling knowledge that you have. It's been
Yeah.
an honor to have you on here. A great conversation. One of our best episodes, one of our best guests. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
one of
Yeah,
my
we
for
favorite
appreciate
sure.
you.
episodes. One of my
Yeah, for
We
sure.
definitely got to get you back on here soon.
Yeah.
We got a lot of dope stuff coming. So we definitely, like I said, definitely want to bring you in every now and then and just, pick your brain some more on wrestling. Because we
yeah,
really have just scratched the surface. As we seen, like, this doesn't even feel like we've been talking for 2 hours. We've been talking about so much, but
shit.
of course, there's so much more to
It's
talk
hella
about.
V, bro.
So we appreciate you again. We appreciate all of y'all for tapping in. If
Appreciate
you
you,
watching
Maven.
this live, if you watching this later on, like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes, man. It's
Come
your
on.
boy Lil Derek, Reed Starks, Les Hardy Jr., and our special guest for today, Maven Lee. Remember, y'all, it's 2 6.